So,
We should be good.
right. Call
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Shem, HaKadosh.
double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. I honor you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching his word in sincerity and in truth. We're here again, going into the prophecies of these last days, and everything's happening, according to the plan. You know, we're out right now, the sun's shining, everyone thinks everything's sweet, but really behind the scene, the fire right. You know, and this is how we know it's a good thing. The panic isn't matching what is actually happening. So these people are really going to be caught unaware. Reset, you know. So this is First Thessalonians 5, verse 3, straight to the point. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Right. So you look at the situation that's happening with the Strait of Hormuz, which involves the Iran, the state of Israel, and America chiefly. And this has been a situation for years. The apostles, different brothers, are bringing out in the prophecy that what's going to trigger and lead to the final prophecies of World War III is America, through the state of Israel, is going to enter into a conflagration with Iran. You know, now we've seen little bits here and there. You know, the Israelis will just quick thing run up in Iran, boom, 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 leave. Then the Iranians might, be like complain. Then the last few times they did a little bit of a recompense, little shooting backward and forward, and then they went up the escalation ladder. Then they de-escalated and it went back. But this time it's a little bit different. This time they are at war.
Yeah.
You know, and you see the Strait of Hormuz has been shut, and all the ramifications that's
causing. Yeah.
And it's been shut for a long time. In fact, it's almost normalized.
Yep.
Been 2 months now.
Yeah.
It's almost not a crisis anymore in the way of it's old news.
Yeah.
It just is. Now the news will be focusing on a couple man that got shanked somewhere when this big event is happening, which it has more ramifications than couple small hats getting shanked in Stanford. You know what I'm saying? Or something to do with Trump or say something. And it's like, whoa, shouldn't we be focusing on this issue?
Yeah, on the crisis.
Yeah.
If I can say, did a video on it. I was speaks to my cousin. He just came back from Australia like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that wasn't even all the way in. That's still like, maybe just over a month into the crisis. He was basically saying how people out there would say basically they're putting on a brave face. Everyone's putting on a brave face. Where he said, I forgot the phrase he used, but it's looking a bit bad right now. And I spoke to my peoples out in Korea, and they're like, yeah, man, prices have gone up. You know what I'm saying? So over there in those parts of the world, they're already feeling it because of just how the navigation of things works in from the Strait of Hormuz. But we know that this is a global economy, right? And what they're saying is that they are going to start this. They're expecting to drop bombs soon. But what a lot of the commentators have been saying is this is the top of the escalation ladder, because what happens next is you don't have Gulf monarchies, right? The what do you call it? The infrastructure, the retaliatory strikes on the Gulf infrastructure is going to destroy them, right? To the point where it's like, I think there was like, someone said don't expect oil to be coming out of the Gulf for a very long time. And it's
they already said the presidents are hitting infrastructure. You know, which is supposed to be a war crime.
Yeah.
But they've already done it and are speaking about doing more. Right? And Iran's not going to say, oh, yeah, just do it to us. No, they're going to retaliate and do the same thing back. And they know how to hurt America. They know how to hurt the states in the region. Right? It doesn't have to be some massive military campaign, but they had to, surgically strike certain things.
Yeah.
Triple Europe and cripple the world, essentially.
Yeah, the people are gonna really ultimately who suffers in these situations. The people, beginning with the poor people, because whenever there's resource constraints, it affects the poor before it affects the rich, because the rich don't, especially if you have, when we speak about all the time, when you have rising prices, that doesn't affect the man that had crazy, like you got got people walking around that's got millions of dollars in disposable income. They don't notice it if bread doubles or triples in price.
Well, these billionaires and millionaires, they got like thousands of generations worth of money.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm saying? So,
Well, it goes down to the percentage of your income or your wealth that actually goes towards you being alive. Yeah. For as you go up the levels, it's less and less and less that it doesn't, even if it doubles or triples. Whereas for us, like if let's say our grocery bill doubled,
Peak.
if you're in a working class and your grocery bill doubled, for some people that's not being. You probably won't be able to pay rent.
yeah.
For some people, there's a lot of your life is cooked if you was to double the expenses on food. But if you look like someone like a Rishi Sunak, if his food expenses doubled, what, like, you wouldn't notice it. That
0.000.
you wouldn't know if it tripled, if it 10x, he wouldn't notice. Then man asked him what the price of bread was. He said he didn't know. What's that?
That's just criminal.
Exactly.
Even if you didn't actually watch what you spent on shopping, like as a person that's running the country, you meant to know these
Yeah,
things.
Why does it
To
matter?
know what the people are going through. Like,
Why does it matter? This is because when you're at a certain level of wealth, right? And I've seen this even with guys that I've worked.
price tag.
There's certain guys that you work with here that's got P to the point where you're suggesting something to him and trying to tell him the price, and then he will be like, "What are you telling me the price for? But is it good?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They get offended if you tell them the price. Like,
Why? But because you're like that. You're like, yo,
Be skeptical.
how much is that? Like,
Got a budget that.
you know what I'm saying? Like, the budget. Whereas there's people when you get to that certain level of money, you don't ask what the price is because it doesn't really matter for certain things. Well, who cares if the cupcake's £10? Like £10, £5.
You feel like injustice is being done to you.
No,
exactly.
But these man like, huh?
Is it nice? Yeah. So that's what's going to happen, and I believe I just read
The quantifiers work.
that the strait's been closed now since February
28th, yeah.
the 28th, and we're now what?
May
Pulling up
2nd,
on
yeah.
May. So just think of how much time has passed, and we're no closer to a resolution to the situation. All right, which is part of the scripture of Revelation. Can you give Revelation 12 and 12? This is part of the devil coming down with great wrath, because all of this, you see Europe, they're happy, even though on a scale it hurts Europe's ability to do certain things. From an administrative purpose, it allows them to push forward with the plan to subjugate the European people even further. Which is why you look at the way they're dealing with it. It's like, oh well, the strait's closed. I mean, it's not our war, bro. The nonchalantness on how they are actually approaching it. It's like, think of it. Usually they'll be right jumping right in there, yeah. But it's like almost like they've been told, we need this to be what it is. So chill, and that's what they're doing. They're chilling. Yeah, gas prices are. It might be a bit peak, but you know what? You guys are just gonna have to change your habit. You know that Agenda 2030 we've been talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, you're gonna have to go along with all that, man. And that's what you see. Every interview they have, whether it's a European bank or where, they're always talking about you need to change your habits. That's their solution to the problem. Like, well, we ain't gonna do nothing about it, but we can't do nothing about it. But you know what? I guess you're not gonna be able to go on a holiday this year. Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the inhabitants of the earth, that's the average man. Because this is gonna be, this crisis is gonna severely affect the people.
Yeah.
The people of America. So you got Americans cheerleading.
Yeah.
Not understanding that your own government is going to use this crisis to
Against you.
subjugate you.
Yeah.
Because none of it's what's happening benefits the American people.
Yeah.
It might benefit a few oil
Barons, yeah.
oil barons in the short term, and a few corporations, but in terms of the average man in America, like, does nothing for you. It actually works against you because it's eating into your disposable income, and you're not earning because since Trump's coming in, you're really losing jobs.
Yeah.
They're fast tracking you losing out in this economy. Like Elon Musk and these guys, like, they are pushing Palantir. They just came out with their manifesto. They're taking over every industry, and they're like, yeah, you want to have a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't see Trump coming out and saying, well, actually, I promised everyone they'll get their jobs back. No, not only are you not getting your job back, but you are losing your job.
Yeah.
Can you code?
I was gonna say as well as economy, it's like when you look at America, America's an expensive place to be with like not a lot of public amenities. So I was like I was, when I'm talking to my peoples, they were basically saying, yeah, things are going up, but then I'm remembering, but actually, train travel is cheap, right? In those countries where it's like you can go and use the public services, subsidized by the government. Whereas if you're an American, to get to work, you got to drive. In a lot of instances, and if your petrol prices double, trebled, you ain't getting to it. Whereas some of these other places, yeah, it's gonna be painful, but it's like there is a bit of public infrastructure that can help absorb the shock for a bit longer.
They're gonna make it get bad.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna create a public infrastructure that everyone's
Exactly.
Oh, you know where FEMA at? They're gonna be begging for FEMA and Palantir and these men to come in and save them. You know, give them a little bit of that food stamp. Anyway,
but that's what Esau wants to be like. He wants to be like he's the savior.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to replace, you know, the idea of Yahweh Shai, you know, being the savior. He wants to be the savior, but put into slavery. That's what he wants.
The chip.
You know?
And that's why the chip is right around the corner. It literally is right around the corner, man. When you see people in suffering, that means they're preparing to offer them, you know, that salvation through that chip, or what they perceive will be salvation or security. And it says, for the devil is come down onto you. We know who the devil is, right? The scripture told you, man, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and that's Esau Edom. He's a devil, he's a liar. Because throughout all this was happening, there's nothing but deceit and deception. There's nothing but skullduggery, deceit, and in fact, if you actually even look at it, what proves this man is the devil, right? Have they not been lying from the very beginning of this whole situation? Everyone been in agreement that Trump's been lying.
Yeah.
They've been lying. Hexeth, Trump, all these men have been lying so much, yeah, that within an hour of saying one thing, they've already said the opposite.
An hour or something.
Showing this whole thing is really a massive mind attack on the people, because they lying so much. He's just switching off now. Yeah, because the man telling you the war's over every day. And it's been like 3 months now.
Getting closer.
The thing is, it's like right now, they've had to say, oh no, it's over because it 60-day rule or something like that. But then people are like, so why are the troops still?
Like there's no one left to fight.
Yeah. There's no one left to fight. They're all dead, obliterated. You know, Lord of the Rings with the ghosts joined into the battle. That's what it is. Yeah, because the whole thing is a setup. It's a lie. This is why he's known as the devil. The devil means deceiver, because these guys come on the TV and run these tricks and these programs and tell people, look at the assassination attempt that happened the other day. That was all lies, bro. Bro, it was a bad Hollywood film. Like, it doesn't make no sense. Like, the guys.
How did he expect to achieve his goal?
The man thought it was what? So
what? Run in.
That's straight out of Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando. You know, when man was just out one guy with a gun, walk around. Bro, that's not how assassinations are done. But it was a show. Like, he coming out. The dog found him. You see the video? The dog found him, and the guy was dead, and the guy just walked away, and then he just come running out like a video game.
Okay, like the Matrix.
Yeah, and just ran through and didn't get shot.
No, not one shot. But someone dissed you apparently. One of the guys,
but there was no blood.
No, but one of their guys got shot in it. The security guy.
And it hit some mobile device.
Is that what it is?
God, yeah, that's proper Hollywood.
And then you read the manifesto that they always have. And the manifesto was a joke. I did you read it? Bro, it was insanity. This is why he's known as the devil, because Esau's always lying and doing psychological operations.
I mean, wouldn't it be better if we wait for Trump to come out of the building?
And ironically, it's the same building where they had the assassination attempt on Reagan. Right, when I was following the news, it was like Guardian was brought that bit out, and it's like, oh, there's been an assassination attempt on Trump. I was like, we actually doing this right.
And so a lot of people realize how fake it was from the very beginning.
Someone didn't even react to what was going on.
Yeah, it was insane. But that's what they do. They lie, and they're pushing the world towards this war. But it's not going to end the way they think it's going to end. You know, they're setting up their own destruction and they don't even realize it. That's why the scripture says he taketh the wise in his own craftiness, because they think they're being crafty by manipulating the world into the chaos so they can control the chaos. But they don't know that our Lord is the Lord of chaos. He's the Lord is the one that truly controls the chaos, man. He formed the world in chaos. You understand? Like, you ain't the one that you don't control everything.
Psalm 58 reinforces the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go as soon as they be born speaking lies. They
They're born to do this. They're born to lie.
And they tell grand lies on TV. And they get the right people to justify that it's the truth. Just like the NASA, the moon landings. Yeah, it's certified by all the right people. So if you ask all the right people, they'll tell you, yeah, it was real.
And that's all part of their witchcraft.
Yeah.
That's why the whole thing's called media, which goes back to witchcraft.
Yeah.
Esau's is one big, trust me, bro.
And he, as the elders going in, he's built an infrastructure to help spread that lie. That's why you've had. I was watching Marandi the other day. As they saying more and more now because of the war, a lot of people are actually looking into Iran and be like, oh, these man all right.
It's propaganda, but that's why they're called the devil, because Esau has always been good at lying and controlling narratives. The same thing he did with the Native American Indians. Oh, they're savages. They're just wild heathens. They're beasts. Oh, God gave us this land. You know.
But again, that all goes back to the Renaissance. They started putting up the images and started, talk about how they're God and all this kind of business, right? It's to create that whole image that, Esau, the inherent righteous possessor of the earth.
That's why every time he speaks, it's like, oh, we've done all of this. Now think of it, right? When you're operating on and this is why Esau Edom gets away with a lot of wickedness, right? Because the more power and authority you have in the world, right, the more your decisions actually affect you. If you're just if you're just like a manager in a small little operation somewhere, and you mess up, it could affect people, could be affecting some people that work there, it could even affect a few people that buy from the factory. But it's more than likely going to be localized, small amount of people. When you're making decisions like you cause the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, people have already died because of this. Not only have they died directly due to just being priced out of certain things, a lot of people have fallen into criminality, which causes death. Yeah. A lot more people have been forced into armed robberies and all kind of deaths because that hell creates desperation.
You had certain countries that have been on the edge.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like they can't they can't cook because there's no gas going into the
and then Esau gets to stand up there with a suit on, and he don't even properly explain himself, and there is no real check for it. Now, if Jake do some stupidness, man, I'm quick to jump on Jake here, and Jake will get dealt with if you make the slightest mistake. Esau's up there, and we're not sure about this, and man asking them questions, and they're lying, and what this person's saying one thing, then the other guy does a press conference an hour later, he's saying something different. Oh, I'm not allowed to call it a war because so openly you're gaming the system. Just look,
you're mugging people off.
You're mugging people off, right? And it's cool. But it just keeps going. Tomorrow's another day. You keep your job. Everything's fine.
Yeah. So like, but part of the thing is they were all the Democrats, but the Democrats are in on it.
Yeah, they've not fucked up against this at all.
Because once again, in the US, their laws state that if it goes to 60 days, that they have to inform Congress and get consent from Congress.
And they'll get consent.
They'll get consent, but they just said, it's not a war. And then that was the end of this conversation.
Because why? Both sides agree on Iran, Iran being these crazies and the nuclear weapon thing, which is a lie. So again, the whole reasoning for this whole thing is all based upon false narratives and lies.
So, well, we'll check this, right? The Bush were Democrats, isn't it? The Bushes.
No, they were Republicans.
Yeah. One was Democrat, right?
Yeah.
Clinton, Democrat.
Yeah.
Right. These plans have been in plan for a long time. Because I think it was that General Wesley Clark.
Yeah.
Right. That's outlined that they had this plan to go into Afghanistan and Iraq and all these different places and end up in Iran.
So that shows you that these presidents are not making personal decisions. That's it. But every time they confront him on the gas prices, oh yeah, but at least they ain't got a nuclear weapon. It's like, bro, like, what do you think what they were gonna do with this nuke?
Yeah.
Like they were just gonna get a nuke and just launch it to America, like, and then so they're suicidal. But then if that's the case, then why are they holding back from just destroying all the Middle East? Then?
Yeah.
If they're so crazy and suicidal, why are they holding back now?
Yeah.
You're saying that they would just
Well, Israel could be taken out with conventional weapons.
yeah.
But why aren't they just going to done that?
Exactly. What I was going to say as well, it's like, I remember when first looking into Strait of Hormuz, it's like, Iran never needed a nuke. They had the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
And look what it's doing to the world.
Exactly.
Like, there's going to be a shortage of a harvest in a few months.
And the worst thing about it is they closed it, and they're letting the little bits in and out. We know that there's agreements to have certain things move, innit? But then America closed it too.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like,
America
said-
closed their
man said
closures.
open-
Properly closed.
which shows you ultimately, above the level of Trump and the Iranians, this strait had to be closed.
Yeah.
And it had to remain closed because it feeds into what we're about to go into. It feeds into chaos and the hardship. They need to be in America. They need to be in Britain. They need to be in Europe, because in good times, people don't want to change. But when times get hard and desperate times come, people are willing to do things that they wouldn't normally do.
And it's just bullshit. Like, it all these bullshit. Because obviously, Iran was letting certain things through. But they had deals and that still going on, right? So it wasn't closed, right? And then America was like, no, you can't make no money. So
Now
we're
they're
gonna stop.
closed.
Now we're closed.
But then I've heard that there are still ships
Yeah,
coming out.
China's got to get the oil. So
Yeah.
we'll let China
There are
go
some
through
ships
them.
going through it.
So what the hell is going on?
But then the prices of all your goods are going up anyway,
Yeah.
because the corporations are putting them up anyway,
And then-
regardless of what the price is. They're
And
still
then, and
putting
then Trump had the cheek to say, because always people complain that the oil prices are going up in America, right? And he goes, yeah, well, it's gone up a lot less than we thought it would.
Yeah.
But you want to be bringing the prices down. That's what you
Yeah.
roll on, right?
Didn't they say we got plenty of oil?
Yeah.
So that was to signify that it wouldn't affect America. But it does affect America, because the American oil companies, first of all, they want it to affect America. Secondly, the oil companies have a fiduciary responsibility to sell shit at the highest price.
And that's why they made mad profits.
Yeah, BP was it?
Yeah,
came
BP,
out.
yep.
Which where their profits have doubled. I got this real quick. Something I always bring out, but it says a purpose of a system is what it does, right? It says it's a system's thinking heuristic, right? Emphasizing that a system's true purpose is defined by what its actual consistent results, not its intended goals or stated mission. And I always bring it because, once again, Iran said, cool, the strait is open. And then America closed it. That was one. A lot of people, when I was watching Miranda, he was like Trump. I think it was Miranda, but it was basically saying they had a perfect off ramp there.
Yeah,
They had a perfect.
they don't want it.
They don't want it,
They don't want the off ramp.
which makes you go. to
Now
the
you
logical
understand.
conclusion.
This is what they want.
Yeah.
This is all intentional, man.
Like all of the different, and that's what Esau will make it seem like, these people are incompetent. But no, when you watch everything that they do, it looks like they do want the economy to crash.
Yeah.
Because if we as Esau would call us, low IQ people, know that closing the Strait of Hormuz is bad for the economy, you think these guys at
Oh,
LSE, right, and all of these different financial institutions.
By the way, it was
know?
open before they went and attacked it anyway.
Exactly.
But
And
you
they
know,
always
you
said
know
they would close it.
exactly. You knew what you were going to do was going to cause that. So obviously that was the plan then. That was the goal.
Yeah.
Because now you kept it closed anyway. So that was the goal then.
Was you finished on 12?
Yeah, I finished in 12.
Six,
That's
maybe?
Yeah,
6 and 6?
yeah, I got that as well. I'm holding
Yeah,
that as well.
okay.
Yeah, Esau, man, he's a proper devil, man, and that's why he's gonna have to pay.
That's right.
You know what I mean? He's just you see the games that they're playing, and like I said, the left, right. The left is pretending that they're against Trump, but they're not really against what's happening. They voted in
Cahoots.
favor. You know, the overall they voted in favor to continue this thing. So this has already been decided that this is the road that they're going down, which again goes back into the scriptures, man. Gog and Magog are deceiving the world to bring them together to battle. They got the whole world thinking it's about one thing, and there's nothing to do with that.
It's book of Psalms 144 and 11. Read me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouths speaketh vanity.
Right,
And
the vanity that they speak here is they're always trying to sell you that what they do is for your benefit. This is the way. Esau will always sell you, even to their own people, because they did it to their own people. Trump was supposed to be selling white supremacy This the system is going to come back to work in your favor. That's what Trump was supposed to represent. Trump was supposed to represent that. Well, what article came out the other day? Who's suffering the most right now in the education system in the UK? These Edomites.
Yeah.
These working class. What have we been saying? Literally, like, for months, we've just been, listen, we know the reality, bro. Me and this, I don't know about these brothers. I think they grew up in the black area. Me and this brother here grew up in the midst of Satan. Working class, straight up bacon. We know these devils intimately. We've been in their houses. Man's ate from man's mother. Man's ate from the teeth of Esau. Man's been offered the Sherwood's curry pride, the curry pride thing, and be like, yo,
What was it the Sutton fish fingers?
the fish, bro. Man have been invited to the barbecue, and then man are taking the chicken straight out the packet and onto the barbecue. You know what I'm talking about? You know, where they're playing Oasis and
What's their favorite song, man? Sweet fucking Caroline.
Sweet Caroline.
Excuse my friend, sorry.
We know these devils. So when these devils try to bring this idea that they're so IQ, I went to school with these Donnies. They weren't no high IQ in any way, shape, or form. Oh, they're not criminals. I went to school with them. Them man was stealing legs off the top of houses. Them man was stealing all the pets. Criminals. So when I see these men pushing this vibration out there that these Edomites are all this polished people that are high IQ, and it's a lie. The majority of Edomites are not even like that. Majority of Edomites are just low IQ, low vibration idiots who are living off a kingdom that they really don't contribute to in any way other than you also a grunt that just goes to work.
But that's why the elites also want them dead.
Useless eaters. If you were to take the average Edomites and just stick them, they always say, oh, third world shit country. If you listen, I promise you this. If you were to take all the average Edomites from England, take all the Dagnamites and all the and you just stuck them in a country somewhere. You just said, listen, you go any country, any open piece of land, and you said, yeah, here's some money, like general third world level money. Go on, do your thing. Bro, that place will be hell. It will be third world destitute with poo running through the sewers and man smoking weed and whiffing back lines everywhere.
Fucking each other's dog.
Well, I was going to say that's in South of America be like that in certain of them southern states. Where it's like they're quite remote, so it's like they haven't got the same kind of infrastructure. They don't have like all of that. But you see some of the way they live, you're like.
You look at what was that family up in somewhere south in America?
The Whitakers, that inbred family.
That's what happened.
So you're just working class guys, and your dad had a working class job, and under the system of white supremacy for a while, you had certain amenities and privileges that made you feel higher than you really were in the grand scheme of things. The only thing that happened was after the boomer generation, Esau Edom, the top elite started saying, yeah, it's over for that now. You normal everyday Edomites, we're gonna start taking from you everything that we allowed you to have, and there's nothing you could do about it. So guess what? First thing, all you little blue collar Edomites, we're just gonna take all your jobs. And guess what? You ain't gonna be no coder after that because you ain't smart enough. So you're just gonna be sit there angry, drinking Stella, beating your wife, angry and blaming black people. Then we're gonna give you this Trump guy, and he's gonna tell you that he's gonna make America great again and give you your jobs back. Meanwhile, he's funding AI. So like, you're cooked. But this is the lie. They're always gonna come with this lie, like we're doing this for you, for the people. Listen, it's for America, or it's for Britain. These same people that do that don't care about Britain and America as in the people. They care about the corporation. They care about the infrastructure. The power structure is what they represent. They don't represent the guys underneath the power structure, which is you.
You know what it is, right? Right, electricity is expensive, isn't it? Right, these are AI and robots. They're gonna run a biomass.
What a matrix!
You got a biomass, man.
They're selling them right now. There's videos on Twitter, man, telling them, oh, everyone's gonna have a robot. Everyone's gonna have a 3-star Michelin chef.
What? Who believes that?
Bro, there's man that believe it. I've worked with man.
Trump said you meant to be a millionaire by now, bro.
But he said you're gonna have so much.
That's what
We're gonna be so much rich, so
rich.
much money. Man ain't gonna know what to do with it. Yeah,
Where is it?
and they believed him.
This is on your previous point. It says Habakkuk 2 from 16 says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of your house right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shame from spewing shall be on thy glory." I was bringing that out because you're talking about how, there's this image, which, this precept encompasses a lot about how Esau is being exposed, all of the different things that he used to glory in. People are now speaking about it, being like, nah, but actually, like, you did wickedness to get all of that, right? The reason I was getting this one, who Esau really is being portrayed out to the world, thankfully to social media. Because at first, what did Esau have? Before video stuff was out like that before, you had World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And the camera, it was Esau, the camera like that on Jake. But the beauty of social media, the beauty of you being you being racist on Twitter, the rest of the world is seeing as like, Muslims can get free council tax if they make their church, their house. People looked at that, I was like, how did you believe that?
It's the way you're supposed to buy it as well. Because he was like he's the smartest dude in the room everywhere he goes, right? But everyone else is stupid.
Bro,
We've been with people, different nations, different people that they're like,
this guy's foolish. You know what I'm saying? If anyone that the American political system is all about contempt for the average American. Because anyone that's got any half to two brain cells already done worked out that it's all bullshit. So if the fact that you even bought into it in the first place shows your LIQ.
I remember speaking to one of my old colleagues. His missus is Russian, and they said the difference between us is we know our government's propaganda. You guys actually believe it.
Remember when they first came out? You had that helicopter that crashed, and they were trying to blame DEI. Oh, it was because there's black people in the air tower and all this bullshit. Like, okay, sure, brother. Yeah, DEI. What's Pete Hegseth?
Pistol Pete.
What is Pete Hegseth? Is he not a DEI? But you see, when it's Esau could be supposedly incompetent and make mistakes, and these guys have been making nothing but mistakes this whole time in front of the camera. And you never hear none of these Edomites say, "Oh, he's a DEI." They deserve the job. They're saying that they're the greatest person. He's the greatest president ever. All right, brother. Go on. Let's carry on.
You had something?
Yeah.
That was the point I wanted. You had something. You had a piece as well.
Oh yeah, you was reading Psalm 144. Yeah.
Psalms 144 and 11. Read me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood.
Everything about Esau is all about lying, and we have the show we just started on the food. It's all lies and manipulation. He's always lying. This man came out and told everyone at one point coconut oil was bad for you. They just lied. Oh yeah, fats is bad for you. Here, have this low-fat food, and then obesity rates went through the roof. The man lies. He lies about everything. He does not ever let the truth come and get in the way of a good agenda. The man came out and told you and no one was held accountable for this. And this is what I mean about Esau Edom. See, we all know that, there's a lot of Jake out there that's pieces of shit, man. And we see them all up on the podcast, on the RTM, talking shit, And these dudes, look, man, we don't respect these dudes. You got a nice watch, these dudes take your arm off for it. Like, we get it. These men cause a lot of pain in their own community. I get that, right? And rightfully so, they should be vilified. These pieces of shit scum. They are. So then why is Esau allowed to lie and say there's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, despite the weapons inspectors themselves saying there ain't? Them man just made up a bunch of shit and said, there is. Go in there, flipping kill 1 million Iraqis, cause a whole bunch of their own soldiers to die and get poisoned by depleted uranium rounds, and in the end say, oops, and then none of them, Tony Blair, or none of them that actually made the decisions to do this thing, face any accountability.
They got higher level jobs.
They killed more people than all the Pookies put together.
Yeah.
All the Pookies in America. You put all the Pookies in America and all the Pookies in Britain. Hell, throw in all the Yardies, man. Throw in all the Pookies
everywhere.
You throw in all the Pookies, yeah? Pookies everywhere. You just concentrate them into one block. They didn't do as much death and destruction as George Bush and Tony Blair did when they made that decision.
It's just that one campaign.
So where's their 25 to life?
Well, it's one of the things as well that the world has seen is just the contempt that these Edomites have, right? Which, you know, Ishmael there, Ishmael, whatever. But it's like, because Israel was about to buy a grain of shipment from that Russia stole from Ukraine, the EU was going to sanction Israel. But then people are like, well, wait there, they've been killing, what, 40,000, 50,000, you know, so-called Palestinians, and you just stood by like, oops, nothing. But a grain of shipment from Ukraine is enough for sanctions.
This man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And he's just a liar, man. We're tired of it. We're tired of living in a world where it's just lies, man. You turn the TV on, lies, turn the radio on, it's lies. You walk around, everyone's operating on lies. Like, you go to your family's yard and they're believing a lot of the lies. It's like, bro, you got to be like, yo, man, that's not true. That's propaganda.
So I've got to say my dad, he watches so much this shit, like, he doesn't believe all of it, but sometimes he's like, all right, dad, cool, whatever it is.
God.
But the propaganda, they're just pushing it out there, man. Yeah. And here it is, just another example, man. Esau causing death and destruction through lies, through propaganda, man. Same old, same old. This is why we need to be delivered from this man, because he can't be trusted. Oh. Was that okay? That was it on that? Okay, let's. You got the art. Okay, you got time, and then we'll get the art extra.
Yeah. It's on the famine we're talking about. This is Revelation 6. I start from verse 5, and the subtitle is the third seal famine. Verse 5. When he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not for oil and for wine."
There's gonna the famine is fast approaching. In fact, Second Esdras, the famine is fast approaching. Real quick, food and energy is gonna explode in price, and it's gonna price out the majority of people. When I say the majority of people, I mean the working class man, even down to the middle class man. They're gonna be priced out. In fact, certain times, not even just priced out, the food won't even be there. It won't go from the main regional channel into where you are. There's gonna be a break in the system.
And I was looking in the video I was doing the other day, it's almost creates a de facto siege because the food is there, it just can't get to you. But one thing as well, if I can say, because I've said many times, I'm an aviation nerd, and like people are looking at this jet fuel thing as just, oh, people can't go on holiday, and it's like it's so far from just that. So it's like one of the models I was looking at was Ethiopian Airlines, right? Because traveling around Africa it doesn't make a lot of financial sense if you're an airline. But what does make sense for them is on those routes where they haven't got a lot of customers, is they've actually got a lot of cargo, including food, including a medication, right, and a whole host of other things. So now if it's not financially viable to move those, if they ain't got the jet fuel, guess what? That food is now no longer getting there. That medicine is now no longer getting there, right? The amount of, you see like planes flying in the sky, the amount of logistics planes, so DHL have a whole fleet of planes, FedEx have a whole fleet of planes, right? So that means there's a lot of goods and other things that won't be able to move. But
tourism as well.
Yeah.
There's whole areas in the world that are dependent in areas in Spain.
Yeah.
There's a whole areas in the world that in the islands, they made them dependent on tourism, even though the money for the tourism, what people don't realize, especially in the islands, doesn't actually stay on the island. Most of those resorts are owned externally. Yeah. So the whole system of tourism actually wasn't set up to benefit the people. But that's going to be the whatever little they're getting from it, it's going to be gone because the prices of traveling to places like Jamaica or traveling places is going to be cut. It's going to be up, so people are going to cut that out. Not to mention if they're if you're having an increase in your energy prices and an increase in your food prices, you're less likely to go on that holiday anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
And then if you do go there, whereas before you could splash, and people are like, oh, you go to this place, just splash. Okay, but now you can't splash because their prices have also gone up.
Yeah, the all-inclusive model might collapse.
Yeah. Because this is it. It's like when you look, it's all about fine margins and stuff like that. You know, and that's one of the things that because that's why your low cost airlines don't fly to Heathrow or the main airport in the country. They fly to the little ones because the margins are there, right? Which you can do in Europe. You can't do that in the States. But you can do that in Europe.
Yeah, and now you can tell in the markets they're not going to do buy one get one free anymore.
Yeah, the real pain.
Real pain. It's gonna be hell in the market.
Good.
Man. And it's fast approaching. You know, that's why they're already prepping the people, saying it's your habits that's gonna have to change. And we ain't hearing that from one source. Multiple sources are saying, yeah, you're gonna have to do less. And Trump told you this, going all the way back to the tariffs. He said, well, maybe instead of buying $5, you only buy one.
Now there's no petrol to make dough. There's
Yeah.
oil to make dough.
Yeah.
It's like, because that's the thing I was talking about. They're making it seem like America doesn't import oil. No, America
Yeah,
imports
they're
oil.
a net import. Yeah, he said again, that was all lies.
Yeah.
It was all propaganda. Oh, look at the ships, they're all lining up to come to America. No, they're always lining up to come to America. You morons. That if you would have took a picture beforehand, it would have looked very similar because America has always got loads of them ships coming like, on its way.
It's an
like.
emergency.
But he made it look like everyone, the whole world now going to come to America to get oil. But there's no other oil producers. Like, what are we talking about here? But that just shows you how uneducated the average American is. That he could even, if you knew, there's no way you would do that if you knew that 80% of the people would just automatically know this is fool.
But once again, it goes back to the point about how the immediate infrastructure is there to propagate the lies. Because anyone, if there was something that was actually like true, let's say they got us up there, they'll be constantly, no, but this, no, but that, right? But they're just running with that.
Running with it, yeah.
The whole
You see how Trump does, he just shuts man down. It's like, you're just fake news. You know what I mean? You know, they can't even talk.
Low IQ. Yeah, because it's a low IQ talking points because there is fake news. Yeah. So now you're gonna be just it's idiocracy.
Yeah.
Like
what Ministry of Truth? I'll always remember Jacinda.
Social, right?
True
It's
social, yeah.
isn't it? So
Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister or whatever position in New Zealand, wherever the head of the New Zealand government is, right? She said during the CV, if you do not hear it from us, it is not true.
everything else is a lie. But they're the ones propagating the lies. They all cause this, crazy conspiracy dudes out there, of course. So you have to vet everything. But like, the government definitely not telling you the truth.
Well, Iran wanting a bomb is a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
But they had never had no evidence for that. But
You get in the same place the Iraq war, right? It's the same shit.
is that no conspiracy theory?
2 weeks away. If we didn't do it, they were gonna get a bomb and all this
Yeah,
other
it's a
stuff.
conspiracy
But they
theory.
destroyed them utterly. They had to go destroy them again later.
Yeah.
So I only believe conspiracy theories when it's from the government. Alright, go now. Yeah, second entry.
Scripture 622. And suddenly shall the sown presses appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
Shortages. This is always gonna happen.
Worse than COVID.
Worse.
It's gonna get worse.
There's gonna be a situation where there's gonna be shortages of food. Right? And there's gonna be inevitably what happens after that is something called price gouging. Where managers putting the price up, and it don't even need to be that high, but they're gonna put it that high.
God forbid the province of the CEO.
Yeah.
So they use the crisis as an opportunity to make even more profit. So they could hold the price at 110, but they'll slap it up to 140 because they know it's a crisis, and they tell, oh, it's a crisis. Yeah?
It's reasonable. It's reasonable.
But then guess what? The price gouging is also a ploy. Because with price gouging, go back to World War. That's why we say you gotta go back into the history. And that's what they don't teach people. Because the average person doesn't understand history, it could be repeated for them. So what happened during the World War in the UK is you had price gouging because there was a shortage. My man would just come and up the price so high that only the richest of the rich could afford it, when really it wasn't that deep. It's just that he was trying to maximize his profit in the crisis. So that's why
demand.
supply and demand. So it's like he could have sold it at £5. Let's just give an example, and it was a bit. He would have made his profit, and it would have been fine. But it's like, right, I could get away with selling it for £20. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna do that and make the most money I can.
And it becomes so great because obviously the calculations of how much it costs the company to do anything is complicated, right? So they don't have to justify it. They say this is costing us, isn't it? To
But then
regularize prices.
what eventually happened of that is that the government then has to step in, which is what they want. So the government then comes in and says, okay, cool, this price gouging has happened, but we do have a crisis with the resources. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in. These corporations are gonna answer to us now. Complete fascism. So it's a merger of the state and the private infrastructures, which is already the state and the private is one and the same anyway. But I mean officially.
Yeah.
And now it's gonna be like, oh, it's for you. So now we're gonna fix the price of trees, fix the price of da-da-da-da. And furthermore to that, there's gonna be a rationing to make sure that everyone can get a piece. That's what happened in World War II. This is what they're getting ready to do already. And we've already had commentators come out and said, why is the UK not preparing to do what they did in World War II? Man said it, showing you that talking point is already out there, that they should be doing more to prepare for these shortages. But that's because they want it to get to a certain point where they can do it. You know what I mean?
Because Laura mentioned it earlier, obviously this, the Hormuz being shut is affecting certain nations quicker than others, right? And other nations are really taking steps into prepare that sort of thing, right? Some of them not working, cutting one day work out a week, staying at home, rationing certain.
Which they were doing that anyway. That's something that was already. Most of these, it's lucky, but most of these agendas have multiple ways to get there. Like, if you break it down like the left-right paradigm, the left will have a reason, like climate change is a big driver on the left side to push a lot of things. Then the right will come in and they'll use security or something, and the end result is the same.
Yeah.
So they're both working to build the same infrastructure with the same result, but how they sell it to the people is something different.
Yeah.
But it converges in terms of what they're actually doing. So surveillance, both sides want mass surveillance, but they'll tell you it's for different things. You know, that both sides want control, but they'll give you a different reason as to why they're getting that control. So when you look at a lot of things that can be achieved on one side, and you look at the Agenda 2030, and you're like, hold on, it's lining up that it's the same thing. So they were already pushing the 4-day week.
And they're also already pushing the whole thing of you ain't going no. Yeah. And then now it's like, well, the airlines are shut. Just think that region in the Gulf, they ferry like 500,000 passengers. Yeah, it's a major hub. 500,000 passengers a day from those 3 airports in that area. Them out of business. That's a whole load of links. So then what happens is you get a lot of overflow on some of the other airlines. So then they're like, wait, we don't need to charge, what is it, random number 100? We can charge 200 because there's a lot of demand, less competitive. Which they already know that, because if I could say they've actually already changed the law. So Heathrow, I don't know if it's the whole of the UK, but Heathrow is very it's of high demand, right? So like for instance, one airline paying 75 million for a slot, so a time of like we can land at this time, right? Not for the gate, not for anything. It's just the ability to land at a certain time. Now it's very strict at Heathrow, where it's if you miss certain slots over a period of time, they get moved on to someone else. The government have already changed the laws to basically say, okay, we're not going to change those rules. What they're basically saying is, we know there ain't going to be no planes, but you giving the illusion to the airlines that, oh, you're going to be able to keep your slots. But it's like they're actually telling you that now they know that this crisis is going to get even worse to the point where planes ain't landing. You know,
which is all right. They don't care.
Yeah,
they keep you locked in. Which leads into the whole 15-minute city thing. Which did anyone look up the thing with Oxford and what they were planning in terms of the parking permits and all that stuff? I didn't look into it to see if it was true.
They've been taught, because Oxford, there's a lot. Oxford, Cambridge, because I've got some family in them. As when you do go there, it already feels like that.
15-minute city.
It feels very 15 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of the new builds, they build the Sainsbury's local is built into the apartment complex. It never used to be like that. Back in the day when they built, back in the day when they used to build the blocks, the block was just a block, and then you got like the local corner shop. Now they build a little mini supermarket into the actual new build. So you don't need to go nowhere. You can go get your stuff from there. If they ain't got nothing, then that's your problem.
Liver, innit?
Yeah. Uber Eats.
Well, can I read this?
Yeah.
I put it into the chat, so the giveaway or whatever. It says, best energy is the energy we don't use. Who said this recently in the interview with the Straight Farm Moves, right? I knew I heard it, right? And the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen made this statement in April 2026, right, recently, in response to escalated energy crisis and disruptions caused by the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. The quote, the cheapest energy is the one you don't use, sometimes reported as the least expensive energy is of course the energy you do not use. The context, amidst a rise in oil prices and a de facto blockade on the Strait of by Iran, she argued by reducing demand through energy efficiency. Reducing demand means using less, right? Such as building renovations. So you see that they go out there like, oh, yeah, no, we're going to reduce it here in this kind of area, right? But no, we read on, right? Such as building renovations and industrial upgrades. Reaction to this, while framed as a sustainability strategy by some, the remarks raised criticism from those arguing for increased domestic production rather than reduced usage during the bottleneck, with some critics on social media characterizing it as a policy on staying home and turning off the lights.
That's what it is. Europe is being deindustrialized. Britain is being deindustrialized, right? But not only that, the products you used to have the ability now to bring in all these cheap products. They're gonna get rid of that now. You're gonna be reduced. You're basically the standard of living that the first world has enjoyed is over, which goes perfectly into Agenda 2030 when it talks about equality. Yeah, everyone's gonna be on the equal footing, but you're gonna have the elites. So basically, everyone's broke. That's basically what you're gonna do. You in America won't be any better off than a Don in Thailand. The whole world is gonna become the third world. And then you got the elites sitting on top who they control all the resources, so they got access to whatever they want. But you, it's not gonna matter whether you live in Britain or it doesn't matter whether you live in it used to matter. It's not gonna matter anymore. This is what they did. They deindustrialized Europe, and now, like what you're reading here, it's another way of saying, look, man, you man are just gonna have to have less. You're gonna have less products. You're gonna have less work. Everything's less.
And that's what they've been pushing, right? And that's I want to link it with this, right? Because she said this, right, von der Leyen, right? But not because of the response to the Strait of Hormuz. But this has been an agenda. It's been an agenda, right? So I put in the same thing, but who said this originally, right? The phrase "the best energy is the energy we don't use," or "the greenest energy is the energy we don't use," is frequently attributed to Kim Forson, the CEO of Danfoss, right? I don't know who Danfoss is, but obviously they're working with the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and all these things, right? So he has repeated this sentiment in numerous interviews, articles, and at high-level events, including the COP27 and the World Economic Forum.
Now, the COP26, Rishi Sunak was there talking about how one of the ways that they can reduce energy is by bringing in the digital money. Because digital money can be net zero. Remember? He came out and said that. You see how it all starts coming together. And by the way, that means Bitcoin is cooked, by the way. If you didn't know that. That's why they got everybody to put all their money in there. That's why Trump endorsed Bitcoin. Bitcoin's cooked. Bitcoin ain't the one. Bitcoin's too energy intensive. It's cooked already. They already got the AIs to run. Now you got to run Bitcoin. No. It's long. They can run CBDCs on blockchains. They can run on blockchains that are damn near net zero. That they're not energy intensive. Proof of work is archaic.
Proof of failure.
So Bitcoin's going to zero, if you didn't know. But Mark Carney said that. I got the clip. I uploaded it on my channel. He said, yeah, you can have a chip. I envision that you're gonna have a chip, and you can pay for things with your chip. We can also use chip to track the product. So a product used to be that a product could just fall off the lorry. We all know this, and you Edomites know about that. So
I've got a few items.
Don't start acting like you don't know what we're talking about. You know these Edomites, they don't steal, bro. Listen, I told you where we grew up, bro. A lot of things man got in their yard came off a lorry.
Sunday market.
Yo, man's TV fell off the lorry.
Yeah.
wasn't it like a 50 million, but basically several £1 million a truck of Kit Kat.
Lorry,
Yeah, Kit Kats got stolen,
That's right.
and it just
Bro,
disappeared.
pallets be going missing all the time on the Edomites, man. That's a fact. Yeah, it just we don't know where it went. It just disappeared. That's been a way, part of the system. That loss or that leakage has always been part of the system. Now with the ubiquitous RFID and the logistics, if any item goes missing, it's flagged straight away.
Exactly.
But have you noticed on Amazon, you order certain things have look, it's the shape of a T, but it basically is like track something. But it's basically it's a blockchain from manufacturer to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that on some Amazon packages.
Oh,
that
okay.
you get.
See, so that's what the Mark Carney said, which he's a
It used to be
He's a-
something
he used
about
to be
Barclays
the
or Bank.
Europe, no, Bank of Europe or something. I think was it Bank of England? No, Bank of England.
Yeah.
And then he went to
Canada.
Canada, and now he's a prime minister or whatever it is, right? And one of the things he said was, "Yeah, you know, you could use Bitcoin, but we could always just find a way to blow it up." He said that in the. Oh, no,
Somebody else.
it wasn't Mark Carney. I
feel like somebody else.
Fine.
Could be wrong. I'm picturing Mark Khan. I don't think it's the same dude that said that. But yeah, the guy said that. The guy said what he said about the Bitcoin. Yeah, we can find a way to,
He said it. He said we could just
just
blow
drop
it
it.
up, man.
Fucking bad habit, bro.
Hey, well, let Satoshi's wallet start moving towards.
Which it shows you who's manipulating the markets, who controls all of that, really.
Well, it goes back to Tether. The whole Bitcoin pumps have always been basically a Ponzi scheme where Tether prints dollars and buys Bitcoin and then use Bitcoin as collateral to print. It's been known.
It's Ouroboros.
Yeah,
With like Nvidia and OpenAI.
Yeah.
Where like Nvidia invests in OpenAI buys Nvidia chips, Nvidia.
yeah. Bitcoin is ready to explode, man. That's a fact. So get out while you can, man, while the price is high, bro. Because it's not the future. But hold on, I'll actually get it here. So I've got it.
I'll finish reading this off, right? So yeah, it says he had repeated this sentiment, Stan Foss. He had repeated this sentiment in numerous interviews, articles, and at high-level events, including COP27 and the World Economic Forum, to emphasize that energy efficiency is the most crucial step towards a green transition. So this is really about the green agenda. It ain't nothing to do with the Hormuz Strait, even though that's putting strain on the situation, but because it's being orchestrated that way,
That's right.
you know. But there's always the plan to move in this direction, regardless of what was going on now, right?
Right. I was wrong. It wasn't Mark Carney. It was Stefan Pollard. He was the Bank of Canada, but he was also from the Bank of Europe as well. That's it. Salaki. It was Stefan Pollard. But that's what he said. He said, you see what? Yeah, he said they'll find a way to blow it up. And they can blow up Bitcoin because they're the one that control it. Bitcoin was created by the government. So it's like Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet. Yeah, if you want to crash Bitcoin to zero, let that wallet
Drop in.
let one Bitcoin from that wallet move to an exchange.
You're gonna get shook.
All of a sudden, everyone's like, "Oh shit! Does that mean that
The whale is
that
moving.
the whale is going to dump all of his Bitcoin?" What does everyone else do?
So-
They start trying to dump their Bitcoin, and within about few seconds, it's done.
So I forget the technology. So I'll speak on it on a high level. But it's like the encryption that they use, whatever, I think SHA-256 or whatever. Modern computers, the shit that the government has, can basically break that down. When you start talking about quantum computing, that's one of the things that they're saying is like, yo, these quantum computers, like, what's that going to mean for modern day encryption? What is Bitcoin and all of that? It's just layers and layers upon encryption that they put into a way to achieve it to mean it's money. So long story short, it's like they've always had access.
It's cool too, but it was a good way to get people to buy into cryptocurrency. You know, because they thought that it was defeating the system. Then all of a sudden they were
Part of
begging the system to be part of it. They can get their papers. There you go.
Just finishing this off, it says, who is Kim Forces, the CEO of Danfoss? Says context, he argues that energy efficiency is the fastest, cleanest, and most affordable way to meet climate goals, often stating that the greenest energy is the energy we don't use. Recent usage, the phrase is heavily utilized in European energy debates 2022 to 2026, with variations also used by the European Commission, the IEA, Executive Director Faith Birrell and discussions about industrial energy savings. While it is a common mantra in the sustainability sector, so it's common. So this has been on their mind for a
And
long
their
time.
sustainability, listen, they're slacking. When they went and got rid of all the coal power plants, that was a signal to say, yo, you're cooked, you're done. Because it doesn't make no sense. And people will say it makes sense, but it doesn't make no sense if you want to increase energy and increase production. If you want to decrease production and decrease energy usage, yeah, go green.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they do, because it's like they're saying like, listen, bro, so many of you man are gonna be dead. We're not even gonna need that much energy anyway. That's what you, if you read in between the lines, it's like, bro, we don't gonna need all
When,
this
when
energy.
you know your population is going to build,
Yeah.
You're
Then
gonna supply
you're
less
gonna do
energy
more.
for them.
You already know that you're about to cut these man down anyway.
It's like, because to build on that, what did Professor Jan say? It was like, which date you Professor Jan. But him, he was basically saying how
Almost Professor Sack.
Almost. But basically, they said, were it not for artificial fertilizer, right? Basically, we cannot feed 8 billion people. We can only feed 2.
That's all right.
Do the math.
That's okay. It's all right.
But I've got this.
You don't need it.
It says Psalm 64 from 5. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter, like the commune of laying snares privily. They say, "Who shall see?"
Right. They don't. The average person doesn't understand that the elites don't care about actual countries. They don't care about patriotism. They don't care about none of that. They care about putting the entire world into slavery. They don't even care about money. And that's another thing people don't realize, that people always say, well, if everyone doesn't have a job, then all the big corporations won't make profits no more. Like, you moron. If you control, it's hard to, because sometimes you got to put yourself into the mind of these morons. If I control all of the resources and the production, who cares about money? What do you use money for? To buy the resources, to have access to resources.
You got it.
If I already own the fucking resource, and I own the fit system,
I've got 20
that
mansions,
allocates-
20 cars, and I'm like, what do I need it for?
If I own the process that's allocating the resources, what do I need to make profit for? I am the profit. Like, you get me? I own it all. You will own nothing. They will own the system itself that produces the burger. I don't need to buy the burger. The burger gets delivered to me because I pressed the button.
Yeah, it's sort of like when you work in one of them spots. Everyone else is buying the burger, but you just take
Don't
one.
need- they-
Just like,
So that's what I'm saying. That because they don't understand that Esau's goal is complete control. Yeah, complete control. That's what the system is really all about. That's what the MOTB system is about. It's not about the old system of capitalism and buying. It's selling like how you know it.
Because the paper money is worth nothing. It isn't worth anything. That's why all this debt doesn't mean nothing to them. They could clean the debt. It don't matter.
What's it about?
It don't matter.
What does it matter? Like, to the elites, their power goes beyond money itself. Their power was that they control the system of money. It's not the money itself that made them. They gave them the power. It's the fact that they could print the money. They could decide what it is or what it does. So in a new system, it's the same thing. They control the CBDC. They can give themselves whatever allocation of whatever they want. Who needs profits, bro? The corporation has the infrastructure. They're just gonna run. And if they need workers, they have workers. If they don't need workers, fine. If they need energy, they have their energy. They have everything they need because they own and control all the infrastructure.
Yep.
Profits. That was the old world. No one cares about profits in the new world, man. And that's where man are gonna go wrong, because they're attached to stock prices and profits and all that, and they're gonna get caught out.
You're inflated and faked anyway.
but yeah, because those are a lot of the times those are government companies, right? They've just got a public figurehead. Right. Call it NWO.
Like Elon.
Elon, yeah.
Elon's a slave.
Yeah.
Elon is a front man. The real power goes way beyond them. And do you think Elon has more power than them because he's the richest man in the world? No, he don't. Elon answers to people. But you would think Elon running everything because of his wealth. Well, this power goes beyond wealth. It's part of it. But think of it. Someone had the power to give him that wealth.
Exactly.
think of it. Like they create wealth.
It's like the genie in it. You know, the genie gives the man, powers. But like the genie gave you the power. Like you don't want power from the genie.
No more powerful, man. They got, you know what I'm saying? But you need the money because we're broke. You know what I mean? That's the only power we gonna have.
This is from the French philosopher Voltaire. Paper money eventually returns to its intrinsic value, zero.
And once it goes to zero, who has the money and the value then? The person who owns and controls the actual real assets, who has control over the farm, who has control over the energy.
That's why you see all these people buying the gold, buying the lands. Right, that's what they do. Right, until there is nothing left. That's why you want to own it. Well, WWF, you will own nothing. But they're gonna own it all.
The
And
government,
they'll lease if they want to lease. They won't. They don't. You know.
This is real riches. This is Genesis 13:2. And Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold.
Yeah.
and then you have to have the ability to keep it. Now the government under the FEMA, under emergency powers, in an emergency, the government can confiscate whatever they want. They can confiscate your farm, they can and give it to someone else and put it under the these men are gonna control your farm now. I'm the captain.
What I can envision, and I speak to man when I say this, because once again, my favorite documentary for Clarkson Farm. A lot of farmers in England are on the edge, and this price rise in fertilizer might just be the thing that tips them over. So then they're gonna sell, and then man like William are gonna be there rubbing his hands.
Big aggro becomes bigger and angry. Aggro. You don't like me when I'm aggro. Statistically, yeah, there's movies like that. You know, Tekken is based on that. Where it's basically just 5 corporations that just run the whole planet, and there really is no difference between the corporation and the government. That's basically what it is. They're gonna have different sectors and a one big supranational corporation over everything else. And man are just enslaved, but it don't matter who you are.
It's basically South Korea. That's literally what Samsung runs the country.
Amazon and all these guys, they've been hand in hand and in bed with the government. Multiple governments. You know what I'm saying? These are global structures. And they're not being built up by accident. Prime is Prime, but everyone's got Prime. Prime, Netflix, HBO Max, now Sky is giving you all of them at the same time. Yeah, that's gonna be the main way of propaganda. YouTube is Google.
Statistical of what's gap. Oxfam is coming. By 2027, 2017, 2018, data Oxfam of Paper reported that just 8 billionaires own the same wealth as the poorest 3.6 billion people. But when you go even down to the 2025, say 12 billionaire in their 2025 report, Oxfam found that the 12 richest billionaire own more wealth than the poorest half of humanity, totaling over 4 billion people.
So the C19 fast forwarded a lot of that. A lot of the small business people, which is how the world's really supposed to. Lots of small businesses, people just doing their thing and doing it with love. Not these big corporate demons, the Satan, the Silicon Valley demons, that's taking over everything, right? But they're dying out, and again, Trump's tariffs help that too. It helped that process.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, with these rebates, they're not going to make it easy for the little man to get his little rebate. There's going to be a lot of paperwork that you're going to have to fill in, and it's going to cost you to actually get it all done.
Even in some of the government programs, I forgot it was in What's Next with Bill Gates on Netflix. They actually show you that even some of the programs that are there now for people, they're so complicated that most people don't get the amount of money they deserve back from the government because the forms are just too complicated. But in a world where it doesn't have to be that complicated, he's still doing it on purpose.
Yeah, boy.
Ezra 6:22, and suddenly shall the sown presses appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hears, they shall be suddenly afraid.
Yeah, the war is gonna get real because this war is gonna expand. But they're seasoning it. You can see they're letting it simmer. The ceasefire thing, we're having a ceasefire. But while the ceasefire happening, the straits closed. So the stress on the system is continuing.
Yeah, because it's common sense. Like imagine during this period of time, ships were moving. You have certain places that will be getting some relief. But this is it. It's like when some of the videos where it shows you how long it actually takes for a shipment of oil to get to another part. Basically, the guy he broke it down. What was like it's the speed of a bicycle, right? That's how slow these super tankers are. So that he basically said. So imagine cycling from Iran to America. That's gonna take you a very long time. Which is once again why some of these shots haven't necessarily hit some of those farther away regions because the shipments were still coming through.
The worst thing is, the strait could be open.
It could be open.
Because as far as Trump said, like they can be, so the uranium's, is like they can't build a bomb.
For the good of the world and the people, the poor people of the world, that should be a priority. That the strait, because it would at that point it wouldn't matter if Iran's earning a couple million here and there. You're destroying them anyway, right?
They've got to fix their shit.
But a true humanitarian be like, oh, we're gonna let whatever can move so that the conflict doesn't affect the world as much as possible.
Mission's done.
Yeah, but they want it to cause, but especially you Americans, man. America's gonna get it hard, man. They're gonna get it. The Americans are gonna get it the worst. So the fall in living standards is gonna affect Americans more than anyone else, because they're the ones that have to actually have the greatest. They don't. Most places in the world, people ain't got $20, man.
Ain't got credit.
Yeah, they don't have a lot to lose. The real place where they're really targeting is Europe, in terms of destroying it. They're the ones that are going to be hit hardest by all the madness that's happening, because they got the most to lose. They got the highest lifestyles that need to be brought down.
Yeah,
Eating all that steak. They got more of that.
Eating 3 times a day.
The other day, man. The Swiss butter and all that, man. Eating steak and 120-pound tomahawks.
Yeah. So I was gonna say it's like you get certain parts of the world, eat like where you eat 1 meal. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And even then, it will be that's why a lot of our right, our parents are big because most of that meal is carb because you can't afford anything else. It'll be just hella rice, right, or hella we said Sadza where I'm from, right? Just a milli meal, pounded up.
Ugandans are like that. Most of their cuisine is vegetarian because the man ain't eating a lot of meat. But the Americans been blessed with that meat. But they're gonna get rid of all that. And they might, if you're lucky, you get to eat some virtual meat or how do they know what? Hey, because that film was prophetic. Because you think about it, the Matrix, right? Because really, what they're gonna end up doing is, you have nothing, but you will have things virtually. So if you work hard enough, you can get certain things virtually. So your holiday will be virtual now. You're not gonna be going on a holiday to Hawaii. You'll be in the metaverse going on holiday. That's how it's gonna be. But the thing is, if they did that, think of it like this, right? Yeah. Think of it like this. It's just like football. Yeah. We're talking about it today. You got these dead ballers running around, and the youth state scene, they might not have seen them on a Dino play. So if they see like a dead baller, they don't know no better. So they think that's a baller. Because they ain't seen one of these. So imagine if you've never actually been to Hawaii or nothing like that, experienced the warmth of the. So then if they give you some spooky virtual reality version of it, then you're gonna run with it. It's like the sex thing. Remember in Demolition Man, man's like, yo, what is this? Because think of it, if you got all these incels here, they've never had sex with you, and you throw them some virtual sex here, it don't matter if it's good or bad. Man don't know no different. You don't know what it's like. You just imagine it different. You know what I'm saying? So the suppleness, something.
Would you call it like your what you call this though? Your big one OF, like they'll definitely be working on AI models right now. They've got all the content, right? And that's for what you call it, for building models and like AI models. All you need is content, and I'm pretty sure there would have been something in the terms and conditions that said all the content uploaded here, we can do whatever.
Yeah, well, the porn is gonna be like your reward. Official
Rat
official
race.
reward. Your sexual activity for this week.
You've been okay productive citizens this
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Select your porn.
Well, that was thinking
Mirror.
Black Mirror, yeah.
Select your porn.
Jacob, get out.
Here's your oil tokens.
Yeah. That's how it's gonna be. Because they're gonna constrain. They've already constrained. Started constraining sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all these different things. Yeah. So all these the normal things that we consider to be life, Esau's gonna take it away and give it back to you in a very virtual way. But the younger generations ain't gonna know no different. They're gonna think that's life. So they'll be like, "Oh, this is great! Oh, Meanwhile, us man were clapping cheeks.
Yeah.
That's what my
And
man was
we're
like.
the problem.
Man was like, "Oh, this is it, bro." Like,
Imagine they say we're the problem. They're trying to
busted
take
virgin
box away from you, but we're the problem.
man's gonna be eating that fucking Soylent Green,
Yeah.
thinking it's a steak.
Delicacy.
Dude.
Wow.
No, because they've never had a real steak before. The generation that had steak is dead. Now you just got this fake meat left, and he's like, and but that would be the premium thing.
But we all knew it didn't taste the same.
Yeah.
We all knew it didn't taste the same, man.
They'll tell you it tastes better.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But meanwhile, the elites, they'll be eating steak.
Yeah.
That's the world Esau would like to have. But obviously, we're not gonna get that far. But this is what all this is setting up.
Oh, yeah, but
To
yeah,
take everything away so that they can give you back everything fake. Give you the go watch the hey brother. Hey, see? Brothers don't listen to me, man.
I've been busy with my Salah. I'm bad with films.
It's
Salah.
Soylent Green.
Bad with films. Can I
Man, they give you that fake jam, and so you never had real strawberry. You've never had a real straw, the real. You've only had the fake. Even a lot of these drinks now. I'm sorry, but I prefer the old diabetes drinks. Man, my daughter, she went cinema with her, and she wanted these Tango fucking snow things, right? Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, because I tasted it. I'm like, what the fuck? This is chemical. This actually tastes like it doesn't taste like there's no sugar in it, and it's just tastes like bleach or some shit. It's like, no, it's lovely. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not.
you don't know
Because you don't know no better, bro. Because when we had the real, you remember when Tango first come out? That thing was just bare sugar, yeah.
Diabetes in the can. Can I grab this? And I've got some information as well. Just on
Bro, Vimto back in the day.
Matthew 24:22, and except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Bro, everything's cooked, and so they've been already reducing everything in the name of low fat, low sugar. Most things ain't got no flavor. It's fake flavor. It's not even real. You know, food coloring. Now it's just gonna get even worse, man. Man don't want you to have a real burger. You gotta have some bug burger, and they tell you it tastes just as good. No, it don't, blood. Stop lying, bro. Why are you lying to the people? It doesn't taste as good. I'm sorry. Just give it a beat or nothing.
They might tell you it's an acquired taste.
Cauliflower fried chicken. No, man.
I had that with
No, do it. I did.
It's just no. Stop lying.
It was at a work. It was at a work dinner, innit? And then they took us to this vegan restaurant.
Yeah.
And then but obviously I wanted something. I was like chicken, innit? And I had it. I was like, yo, what the fuck? It's like,
It's some mushrooms.
And then on YouTube, it's just like chicken. Bro, no, it's not, man.
Stop
Chicken
lying.
is chicken, yo. And it's delicious.
Don't get me wrong, everything fries taste better, but it ain't chicken.
I've got some info.
But that's the new world order, man.
I asked the AI mode, and you know, it didn't really do a good job. But anyway, how many people will die from the effects of the Strait of Hormuz being closed for so long, even if it opened today? Right. So the first bit is like, I didn't ask you that, but it goes on to say secondary silent deaths. Right, the logistical lag. If the Strait opened today, the following silent killers would continue to claim lives for months due to the global supply chains bullwhip effect. It says a global food insecurity. The closure has spiked fertilizer prices by 20 to 30%. And once again, that will be a global because these things are bought in a global stage, right? You buy from the global market. So taking out 20% of, you know, LNG and whatever means that that's 20% less in the market to sell, right? So prices are inevitably going to go up. So since this coincided with the planting season, right?
So
once again-
harvest not there.
so once again, that's how you know that this was the plan. Because if you're a smart man, you'll be like, you know what? Yeah, oil price will probably go up. So let's wait until a little bit further to start the war. So that at least, you know, the farmers have done their thing. Well, no, this is the plan, right? You can read Genesis, right? About, you know, with Joseph. So since this coincided with the planting season, reduced crop yields later this year are predicted to push millions into extreme hunger. Healthcare collapse. The dual blockade has restricted the flow of critical medicines and medical isotopes. In countries like Iran, where domestic inflation has surged over 100%, the inability to afford or access basic medical care is expected to cause a significant, though currently unquantified, rise in mortality.
Charge it. So a lot of people are gonna start dying because they're not gonna be able to get medication. And not only that, that's also leading to a reason why people are gonna take the chip. Because you got the medical chip. So what's gonna happen is you got these insurance companies. It's all based upon insurance, right? Now the insurance is gonna give you a premium based upon what, like your health, right? Now, so what they're gonna say is, okay, look, man, it's all crazy. Obviously, most people are gonna get cancer, obesity, all this stuff. But you know what? We've got this new medical device. Now, if you take this, it's like, you know, when you get a car, they'll say if you put like the black box in there,
Which is going to become mandatory now, I think, for newer drivers.
yeah.
So it's like the same thing. It's going to become a mandatory thing. So you're going to have to get the insurance. You have to have the black box.
So they're going to say, listen, man, I know the premiums are crazy because you're all sick and unhealthy and you've got unhealthy lifestyles. So this is what we're going to do for you. We'll give you a very cheap premium. Hell, the premium might even be for free. However, you're going to have to take your little market of beast chip and have a medical implant. And that medical implant is now going to monitor you for your sugar intake, your exercise, all these different things. And on top of that, your whole lifestyle has to be healthy now.
Yep.
So you know what that means? Like, we're going to control what this is where this is going, because this is a medical crisis.
Yep.
So all these diabetes people are going to be cooked. Insulin, all these different things.
It's exactly like the black box. Obviously, the black box, you know, it calls how fast you accelerate, how hard you brake,
Where you're going,
where you're
when
going.
you're going.
right? It monitors all these things, right, to base, you know, to give you your shit. Because obviously, without it, you can't have it.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, now at the moment, we've got an option to either pay more and not have the black box, or to pay cheap and get the black box. But that's not going to be an option in the future.
But if you want your child to drive the car,
No.
now your car has a black box.
So then that's why one of the first things, the Stargate program, when he came in, what did Trump say? He said AI is going to cure all the diseases. We could do all these things. Yeah, because but in order to access that technology, you're going to have to take a chip. That technology is going to be, okay, you want access to this new medical content. We're not going to give it to you so you could just go eat 20 Twinkies. We'll give you this, but what comes with it is you're going to have to take this chip so that we can control everything. This is what they're going to do. So one of the reasons people are going to take the chip is to access for medical care. Some people are just going to be access to food. There's different pressures that people are going to be under to take this chip to get part of the system.
The CV show.
Ecclesiasticus 12 and the 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw it into the pit.
So while we were breaking down the health crisis in America, yes, people have shown a lack of discipline, but that lack of discipline was fostered in them since they were children by the very same system that is coming up with the solution. The addiction to sugar, the poisons in the food, the over excessive eating, and all these different things was a system that was put upon the people.
You look at some of those American portions, that's a brick. You're like, wait, that's a small. Something that's like bigger than our large is a small. You're like, what?
This is been done on purpose. It's problem. They show that in the learn protocols of the elders of Zion. It speaks about giving the people the liberty so that you can come back and take it away. It's just the same reason when you see all this sexual depravity. Now they're gonna say, look, we're gonna control all sex now. And people are ready for that because most of the youths don't want to have youths anyway.
Yeah.
So there will be a point where having a youth without permission is going to be illegal and everyone's going to be neutered. And man, see that, yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Oh, but see, because if we don't, you're gonna get this welfare mom, and she's poor, but she had 18 children, and okay, yeah, that makes sense. So now no one can, you know what I mean? And again, the movie Fortress, there's a few films that show you that where it's illegal to have children, or you can only have children if you fulfill certain duties within the system. Like for instance, the movie what's the one where they're fighting the bugs? But it's actually quite a good. It's a parody, but it's funny. Starship Troopers. In Starship Troopers, the reason they were joining the military was that it made you be a next level citizen and it allowed you to have children. You couldn't have children unless you joined the military. Which, if you read Palantir's for manifesto they just released, pretty much that's what they were saying. They were saying, look, everyone's going to join the military, but you get extra benefits.
Can I finish this,
Yeah.
Abu Kashaf? So I'm back on this, right? It's 3. I'll read it quick.
Oh, what's the second?
I think it'll be so the 3, economic despair and long-term impact. I'll speed through these last 3 bullet points. It says vulnerable economies, developing nations in Asia and Africa, which rely on Gulf oil for 80% of their energy, are facing existential threats. Right? For instance, experts have already predicted an increase in farmer suicides due to skyrocketing debt and input costs. Energy poverty, with the IAEA calling this the largest supply disruption in history. The resulting inflation and growth shock will likely leave millions unable to heat homes or power essential services, leading to increased winter mortality rates in colder regions. Lastly, it says, in summary, while the current direct death toll is in the low thousands, the total number of people who will, quote, die, right, because of this closure is likely to reach the hundreds of thousands or millions due to the delayed effects of global famine, medical shortages, and economic collapse, consequences that are already locked in even if shipping resumes immediately.
And then, so if you add an actual full-scale war in multi-regions to that, yeah, it's big.
But once again, it's like that's why like Marandi. So Marandi was like, look, if Iran attacks, if America attacks Iran's critical infrastructure, like, yo, it's peak of the war. Right? It's like, it's peak because they're like, look, we've got nothing else to hit but the big things now, and that's really where the world is at. It's only the big things left to hit. So if we kind of reach the top, where it's like, look, man, the next Iranian kind of strikes, the Gulf state. Oh, that's another thing. Geography plays into it, right? Because basically Iran doesn't get as hot as the neighboring Arabic countries. So Iran can live, or he was saying Iran can be in pain, but they can live without aircon and all of that sort of stuff. He was saying, look, if Iran starts taking out energy infrastructure in Saudi, in those Gulf nations, it's going to get too hot, and then people are physically just going to have to leave. And that's why I was saying, the next escalation, you could end up with you saying the next escalation, you could end up with no Gulf states.
The man built it.
Yeah.
None of them cities were actually built. There was no one living.
Yeah, because
You can travel through it, but you don't live on it.
yeah, when you're what do you call it? When you're basically looking at a lot of the infrastructure, it looks clean. Yeah, it looks clean. But then I remember researching into it, and it's like the roads, because you still get dust storms. But it's like you need a constant stream of infrastructure cleaning up the roads, right? Watering the roads.
Which you can if you're bringing in millions and you got some cheap labor.
You know, I forgot what it was. The UAE actually gets a lot of money from air travel. Well, I think it's like it's quite a big part of their GDP, right? And all of the people that aren't coming through anymore, that's costing them a shit ton of money. So then now imagine Iran takes out Abu Dhabi airport. Yeah. Cooked.
Yeah, they want to do that. They want to take away all the havens, all the safe havens, man. Because you know these little mini-me rich people thinking there's a safe haven. They ain't gonna be no safe. And they've already been talking about that. The global tax thing. Listen, man, they're ready to cook. Where was we? Section 6, was that finished? No, it wasn't finished yet? Okay, cool. And then we still got the whole. Now, Prince Charles was the one that years ago said everyone should have one shower a week or some shit like that. Yeah, but they've been pushing this thing and the 5 a day. This is why they came up with the whole thing about your 5 a day, your basal metabolic rate, and all these different things. Yeah, that's what you're gonna get. Your rations is gonna be the AI is gonna calculate based upon science. These are the amount of calories that you eat a day, and you're not gonna get no more than that.
You might get less.
might get less,
You'll
but
regularly
you ain't
get
gonna
less.
get no more. Now you're used. You could do that if you want. You have the freedom that when you get paid, if I get paid right now, man could just go and eat. In fact, what they did in China one time, I think during the C19, there was a thing where people used to go and they just used to buy bare plates of food. So it's like a thing, and you get together with your brethren and bare plates, and everyone eats, but most of it you're not eating. You just, I think they during the seating, because they started having certain shortages, they banned that. You being able to do that. That's gonna start happening. Like, what's America used to? America's used to foolishness, man. Man just coming in here and buying a £2,000 cake, and then most of it's going in the bin. Oh, let me dive off into a pool full of baked beans. You know what I'm saying? Like eating competitions and all this stuff. Like,
They're not another thing.
oh, if you can eat this plate of 180 burgers, you'll get it for free. What the fuck? Gosh darn it.
Challenge accepted.
You know?
You got to pay for it all.
Yeah.
That's gonna be done with. That all that excess that man's have been able to the dainties that the first world American status has been enjoyed. They're about to take that away in a very harsh manner, and people are gonna bug out about it because a lot of men are used to eating a lot, and that ability to eat what they're eating is gonna be taken away almost like overnight. So, oh shit, you mean I can't have 88 Twinkies, man? What's going on? To comfort myself. No, you're gonna have these bugs, this soil and green right here. That's what you're gonna get. Man.
So
It's got all the essential vitamins and minerals that the body needs, man. You know what I mean? Can I have a little bit more salt? No. No, you don't need all that.
I don't know if you saw that lady. It's something you see very commonly nowadays. They'll just have that device that's like just there, and it's supposed to be like a blood glucose monitor, right? Quite a lot of people actually have it. It'll just be there. Point being, it's just like people are already happy to take these devices for the sake of what do you call it? Tracking their health, medication, tracking their health, right?
And now they're telling you everything gives you cancer. So it's like, yeah. So again, going back to the medical thing. Yeah, you can't eat that. They said red meat gives you cancer. So like, what? So you can't eat that. You can't eat this. All the things that you enjoy to eat is gonna be gone.
The bugs won't give you cancer.
Oh no.
They're gonna be perfect.
Delicious. You know, you're gonna be eating the bugs and the artificial meat that we grew in the lab for you. That's fine.
As we've been going into the series, right? It's like he will always do something. He'll tell you, yeah, it's the best thing, whatever, and then over time he'll be like, oh, actually, that's what's been killing you all of this time, you know.
What they started pushing that? What's that brand that they were pushing in the UK? Something meat.
Oh, Beyond Meat?
Beyond Meat.
Yeah, they're collapsing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No,
but even on that,
Of course, because it's not.
I was gonna say the same thing with the cigarettes, right? Because they pushed out the cigarette, say it's healthy. Oh no, it gives you cancer. Have these superheated, sweet thing that you're gonna inhale in your lungs, and that's a better solution. Oh, it ruins your gives you popcorn lung.
Yeah, they're gonna have a new drug, and they show you that in the Brave New World, because Aldous Huxley spoke about that at first. That one of the ways that they're gonna control people in the New World Order through chemicals. So there will be a new drug that they would say is safe. That's gonna give you, that good feeling. The Soma. If you watch Brave New World, in Brave New World they had the Soma. So you take the Soma and it just makes you like amicable and happy.
Yeah,
you don't kill people.
You have nothing and be happy. That's They need something to make. But even then, even building on what the Quran is saying, when you look at some of the things Musk has said about Neuralink, he says we can cure depression. Neuralink.
There you go.
Yeah.
So hit you with some dopamine.
Yeah.
You seem very upset.
Yeah.
Hit you with that dopamine.
Take it up. Exactly. You seem angry.
Oh, there was another movie like that with Black Mirror, but there was one with the dude Thor. No. Yeah, the guy from that played Thor. What's his name again?
Oh, Chris Hemsworth.
Right. There was a film where he did where they were doing experiments with his drug, and then the drug can affect
Spider,
different
okay.
emotions. So it could make you like so horny that you just F a man. And they tested it on man. Like, so they was doing a test, they'll put you in a room with someone and turn it all the way to maximum, and they just start fucking. And it will be like a man with another man, and they're not gay. You know,
They are now.
they are now. Or it will make you violent. So it could make you violent that they would just kill someone. And it was all about if you watch I forgot the name of the film, but
It's gonna Spiderhead.
Spiderhead. You watch that film, it was all about coming up with a drug that can control people. But yeah, it was a freaky film, bro.
Yeah. But so when you look at all of these chemicals in the water and all of this food that we eat and clothes that we wear, it's an ultimate experiment. Yeah, because the reason that came to mind is he was talking about making you so angry that you just kill someone. I was speaking to my brother, and he was telling me about how there was one bodybuilder who basically said when he was on the steroids, he would get to a feeling where he just wanted to kill someone. Right, and that was because of the steroids. So there's certain things that he already has that he knows how people behave. Right, that's why you go to certain zoos and the lion is gay. So how did the lion get gay?
Hey, it's LSD. The government's been about using drugs to mind control people, man. And people forget about all that. How they already was using drugs, LSD, and all these different things, and psychedelics. And this guy Joe Rogan is always pushing psychedelics. People microdosing with mushrooms and all sorts of kind of crazy shit. Yeah, man. Anyway, let's keep it going. The New World Order's freaky deaky, man. So they so the elites put you in a room and have you doing the Puff Daddy thing.
So Job 13:4 says, "But ye are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value."
Yeah. All right. We've got something, and then we'll read the article. We had the article. Yeah, the Starmer. It's the Keir Starmer. And look at the opposition. Some Nigerian, some DEI hire that they brought in. Yeah. It's like
Nasty, bro.
she's a nasty piece of work. And in bare times, to show you how bullshit is here, she will be coming against him for something, and then man will quote her from like 3 years ago. Showing you, it's the political game, the opposition's job is just to be the opposition. They get in power, they'll continue the same agenda. It's so bullshit. It just makes you want to, come on.
Drama reality.
For Starmer, he's weak, and who cares? Whether Starmer's weak or not, they get rid of Starmer, they'll bring in another puppet that's going to continue the agenda anyway.
Yep.
Man, it's 2026 now. Man ain't learned. If we could just get rid of Trump. If we'd have put Kamala in, are you retarded? If we put Kamala in, what was she going to do differently? She's going to pull her vibrator out in the morning and just come up with a different solution. No, she would have done the exact same thing that Trump is doing, but it would have just not been as good in terms of to sell it, the narrative. Trump was the right character for the job, but they can make any character do it. Biden could have done what Trump is doing right now. Obama could do it. But America, no, we gotta go. We can't allow them to have a nuclear bomb. It's crazy.
I know, make the deal.
I make the deal. But hey, Obama, man, Obama, something else, man. This man is crazy.
He ain't wrong.
You want a burger? You can't have a burger.
So you go on a burger.
It's nothing. Mustard on that.
At the age of 6 and 23.
And where is Obama, man? He barely saying anything, man. All hell breaking loose.
If he really can, he run again.
Yeah, because technically, if Trump can run for, if they say Trump can run for a third term, then technically so could Obama, right? That would be a hell of a show.
Oh, yeah.
They need somebody. Who they got? They don't got nobody. You don't care, mate.
At the age of 6 and 23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hears, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friend fight one against another like enemies.
Because things are going to get tight, man. And what makes America worse than anywhere else America and Britain is that really and truly, these places are held together only by the abundance that most people enjoy. These places no longer have real community bonds. Most people that live in the West are narcissistic demons. They will kill the people in their house. Like, even in their own family. Every day it comes out. Man killed his parents for the life insurance, or man killed his kids for the life insurance, bro. They ain't even no love in the family. Much less the neighbors. Man hate their neighbors. Even the neighbors that they pretend to be friends with, they don't really like. Like, how strong is the bond really that if something happened, that you wouldn't turn on them neighbors so that you could get bread? Now, I've been in a crisis before, and I've seen how people can switch up. People that, you know, and but I've seen where family come clutch. Oh yeah, you lot can come and stay, or you can do this, or you can come in and then we'll share.
That trust is not here right now.
Bro, a lot of the familial bonds, the way America is set up and designed, it just ain't there no more. Even just down to the social media, most people's friends are people that don't even live near them.
The politics.
The politics has divided them on top of that.
Oh, you're chosen. You know what I mean? Like Civil War. Like, what American are you? Like they're going to be divided. Well, there are divides between people. So when everything goes to hell, they're not going to. That's what you say in Daniel, man. They should not cleave together.
You got bare
They're not gonna
crackheads.
cleave together.
What happens if the crackheads can't get their fix?
The thing is, there's a lot more than just because a lot of Americans think it's what they need. White women,
Psychological meds.
they're on the psych meds, man. Those white women, man. Yeah, mental. You got a lot of people that they're functioning only because of pharmaceuticals.
So it's set up here for there to be a lot of death, and then you got all the weapons that's just running around the place. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be crazy, and then that's why there's gonna be certain places that they're just gonna cordon off, man, and let you man do it. You know what? We're just gonna blockade. We ain't going up in there, man. Let these man just die.
Well, they kind of showed you that once again in Civil War, that Civil War film, because you had that little town where it still looked normal. You know, that semblance of normality was still there, but everywhere else, it's like pat, pat, pat.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go. Yeah, man.
So it's saying, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The spring of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all this that I have told thee shall escape. And
Yeah,
see
that
thyself.
survive this great death that's coming down the pipeline. And it is great death. Because don't think this is going to be a thing of, like, okay, like, there's hell breaking loose. Esau just comes in with a chip and everyone's cool. No, it's not. There's the promise of that, but it's not really going to be like that, man. Just a lot of people going to be dying of famine. They're going to be getting killed. Like, it's going to be madness, man. It's going to be insanity.
Under the tree.
Farmer youth. What boring individual.
Is this your king?
You know, it's by design.
Yeah.
It's meant to be boring, and most people just switch off. I don't even want to listen to this guy.
You know, when I first saw him coming into the thing, I thought, yeah, he's going to be quite a strong leader, but it hasn't really turned out that way. You know?
Yeah, these morons, man. And you see xenophobia is getting
Mm-hmm.
heavy. Because even in South Africa right now, you got a big xenophobic movement
Yeah.
against, because guess what? People looking for people to blame. So they're gonna be attacking foreigners. It's always the case. Foreigners always get it in the neck first. Because people feel like you don't belong here and you're taking something that belongs to them.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the same thing's gonna happen in America. People are gonna target what they perceive to be illegal. Same thing happened in Britain, France, it's even happening in Africa. You're gonna get man in South Africa. Oh, yo, you're from Nigeria. What are you doing here? You come here to take what we already got, and just kill them. Xenophobia ain't only just Edomites. That's gonna happen everywhere. Edomites are gonna suffer xenophobia.
Oh yeah. Oh, because
It's your fault. Coming over here to pop out women and the men. do madness, man. It just dust man off, man. Get out of here, gringo. Ain't gonna be good to be American around the world. Man.
Yeah. This is it. So, I think the word is suffer. Americans have suffered, you know, because it's like there's certain places, like even in England, you hear that American accent.
Yeah, on the Piccadilly line coming from Heathrow. You're like, man, shut up.
And then it's the hubris, man. I'm like, oh yeah, and like here, you know, they're telling you, you're hearing them tell you about your own place. Like, oh, shut up. But then you go certain places. What he's got that clip, I forgot what film it is, where they Americans go to France and basically the waiter is basically insulting them in French, right? But then oh my god, the accent is so nice or whatever, what have you. You know, but yeah, it's like hubris and that pride where wherever they go, people are supposed to bow to them. You know, you see them. Also, I worked with one Spanish girl, and she was saying how in Spain you have Brits that ask her why can't you speak English in Spain.
Nice. That's the question we should be asking. Then. Why don't you speak Spanish?
Exactly. Yeah, so let's get what Starmer had to say.
Hope you talking your pilot.
Exactly.
Right, yeah, so an article here from MSN.com titled Star Wars UK lifestyle changes likely.
Which is what they want. They want lifestyle changes. And that's what they've been. That's their whole agenda that they've been pushing for ages. So now they're gonna have an
Now
opportunity
they've got more reasons to
to push it, man.
Yeah.
Right. So lifestyle changes are coming.
As the Iran crisis deepens. Again, it's not because of the Iran situation, but that's helping. You know? So Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has warned Britons that in the Iran conflict impact on fuel prices may force changes to holiday plans and shopping habits. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz has driven up jet fuel costs, prompting higher airfares and a surge in UK staycation bookings.
Yeah. But once again, they're trying to keep you focused just on the travel. It's like it's a lot deeper than just travel, man. When planes can't fly, there's a lot of business and logistics that ain't happening.
They don't want you to panic yet, so they're going to focus on the
Exactly.
truth,
The leisure.
Yeah, so they're not going to tell you, "Oh, we're running out of food next week."
Yeah.
They're not going to come out and just say that because they don't want you to panic.
But you know what? Because these, and the worst thing about it is, yeah, a lot of these holidays right outside were cheaper. Now that you're doing this staycation thing, yeah, that doesn't mean you're gonna get the staycation cheaper. No, because the staycation was already expensive.
Yeah,
It's
that's
gonna
what
be
you got.
even more expensive now.
But they got no option.
Yeah. So no matter which way you slice
You're
it,
cut.
yeah, oh, the whole thing is more expensive.
Because that's to be fair, that's why a lot of people leave England because it's cheaper to leave England than to stay in England.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be diminishing returns now.
But now you can't fly out.
Yeah.
So the best you can do is put some posters up in your bedroom. You know,
VR,
pretend you're
I
something.
told you the VR thing, man.
They're expensive too, though. The posters, you have to get the posters and just put it up on your wall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Happy.
dream.
Close your eyes.
Buy a water bed, you know.
Then splash them out in the top.
Oh,
Great. All right, so this is prompting higher fares and a surge in UK staycation bookings, while retailers expect rising food prices in coming months. The government has capped household energy bills until July. Oh,
Yeah, so
wow.
July
Next
increase,
month.
yeah. The July,
Oh,
yeah,
2 months.
because the last one was from April, so it's April to July, and this one actually went down because remember they'd already planned to put it down before this crisis happened. Yeah, so how much? Someone look at how much gas prices have gone up in since the retail gas price has gone up. I'm sure it went up something dumb.
It has gone up crazy.
Something
Because
ungodly.
the annoying thing about that, because during the pandemic, right, they capped the prices again for that, but the cap was still
Yeah,
high.
but the cap is only the cap. Doesn't mean it doesn't go up.
Yeah.
So every time they revise the cap, they can put the price up. So it won't go up within that 3-month period.
But
If not, I'm fine. Like,
you know, but this is the thing because the cap is only for households, and that's a really important thing
Oh,
because the cap isn't for
yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, man. He's a
because
smart brother.
I used to work with one cat who basically before it used to be more beneficial. So you've got some new builds that are built where they're not getting residential prices, where it used to be more beneficial to get the commercial prices. So when there was a hike not too long ago, he was feeling it because his house, his new build block wasn't covered by the cap, by the
That
household.
legal?
At the time, it was beneficial for it to have been a commercial cap, and then the housing, so whoever built the house was basically buying it through a company, and like it was something weird.
Sound booky. Still.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's legal.
Yeah,
But while it was working for my man, let it go.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so all the businesses, and that's again production. So guys that are producers, producing becomes more expensive. So if you're producing a non-essential item, you might just have to go out of business anyway.
yeah.
And we've been telling you that for years, man. This whole thing of getting all these useless products that you don't need, it's gonna go away. Like all this choice that they've given you, this whole system that's just an abundance of choice and garbage, it's gonna go away anyway. Like you're gonna be like Star Trek. You know, in Star Trek, they all wear the same shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in Star Trek, they're showing you they all wear the same shit. Everyone's wearing the same unit, the same shit. Like, yeah. You ain't got 50 million different pairs of fucking Jordans. Why? You ain't gonna have that no more.
No,
Trump
no,
told you
No,
that.
no expression. So
No.
none of that going on.
And if you read the Agenda 2030, that's in there. The streamlining of production. Why do you need 100 million different types of trainers? You probably need about 5. That's it.
Ooh, yeah, like,
Efficient.
like,
I'm just gonna be wearing Uggs. That's what everyone's gonna be wearing. Not Uggs. What's that thing?
Sketches.
What's that? Crocs. That's
Oh,
it, bro.
oh,
Everyone's
man.
just gonna be
God,
wearing
can't
Crocs.
stand it.
yeah.
Wait.
Hospital shoes.
Just gonna be wearing Crocs everywhere. Like, why not?
So it says while aviation is from AR mode, while aviation is the primary consumer of jet fuel, its price directly affects several critical ground level sectors because it is essentially a highly refined grade of kerosene. And I remember looking at it was basically saying jet fuel and diesel are neighbors, basically. So it says outside of leisure travel, jet fuel price increase impact the following areas: essential global supply chains. So global air freight costs have which moved 35% of global trade by value.
I think there's something else as well. I think helium.
Yeah, helium, that's a big one. Yeah,
Helium is affected, and that's something to do
Chips.
with chips, but also microscopes.
Right.
Something like that. I think the health range of it. There's a lot of shit that's connected to this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So it says the jet fuel price single largest variable in air freight costs, which moved 35. I didn't actually know it was that high. So obviously we see ships, and I'm thinking whatever.
That's the most. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
but it says which moved 35% of global trade by value. So if that's 35% of goods, I've just
Yeah, a lot of
increased
high
the
value birds go through.
Yeah, no. Medical supplies, we're saying life-saving medicines and vaccines are often require air-controlled transport. How fuel cost drives up those costs. Electronics and manufacturing, high-value components like semiconductors rely on air freight. It says domestic heating and cooking.
So now you have to start what's important and what's not important. You know what I'm saying?
Essential, not essential.
What's essential and not essential? That's
the word.
vernacular that they've been using for
Yeah.
since the season. What's essential? What's not essential?
Once
Now you have to ask yourself, like, this PlayStation that you got, like,
Smart
You know what I mean?
information you have.
like, can we do something with that? You know what I mean? Do we need all of them, or you know what? Where does the efficiency lie in these chips?
Yeah.
You know,
So this is where I found
we've got a lot of gadgets out there. Do they need to be made? Are they necessary?
So it says domestic heating and cooking. So in many parts of the world, jet fuel, Jet A1, and domestic heating oil are essentially the same product. Home heat in the UK and parts of Europe, the same kerosene grade used in jet engines powers domestic boilers and range stoves. Developing economies in countries like
What? Wait, hold on. Are you talking about the gas that we get?
no. It's like you get people that are a bit of like farm, like bit off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the sticks.
Oh, industry. Okay.
Yeah, in certain you get some Edomites that live in the sticks.
Okay.
That's why the government came in and said, "We'll control your prices."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it says developing economies in countries like Nigeria and India, kerosene is a staple fuel for lamps and liquid stoves. Price surges in the aviation sector often lead to higher cost of these basic household needs. Military and emergency. NATO forces uses a single fuel policy, often relying on JPA a jet fuel variant for both aircraft and ground diesel vehicles.
So of course, again, if you have a war,
Yeah.
right now you're talking about the military endeavor is going to be in competition with that. So then now, who you think will get priority? And again, that's one of the reasons why rationing would happen, because you'd have a war. You got to feed the food on the front lines. All these different things. So now,
I mean, we're putting out there that we're severely, like Europe's severely behind in its
Yeah.
war spending, basically.
And I always have to say this whenever we come to the point of fuel and war. That's how you can easily prove that thing that they say happened to those people never happened, because Germany didn't have enough fuel for both the war effort and to do that to so many of them people.
more lies.
So with Ezekiel 7:5, that says the Lord power and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. An end is come. The end is come. It waiteth for thee. Behold, it is come.
That's what's coming, man. We are actually at the precipice of this happening. We're in the end game right now, but the average person just can't see it because it's really normalized right now. It's so normal. It's unbelievable. It's titillating me how normal this situation is. Like, most people, even when they're talking about it, they're not talking about it like the reality of what this actually means.
Yeah.
This is how you know that this might be it, because the mans are gonna be caught off guard.
Oh,
Like,
but
they think this is gonna blow over.
Yeah.
It's a temporary thing.
Yeah. But that's what the scripture says. This day shall not overtake you as a thief, right? Because it is true. When you really look at what's happening, it's like,
You should be more concerned about this.
yeah,
No.
this is a big problem.
Big.
They just think, oh, things get more expensive. Humbug. Everything gets spent all the time.
Yeah.
So they just think it's something that just happens normally.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be far worse than you think. You know?
That's it. Because that's the thing. There's this bias, that logical bias that people have, where things have, up until this point, always got better. We had the Great Depression, and then we came out of the Great Depression. It got better, right? We had 2008. It got better. We had the CV. It got better, right? But it's one of them ones you get to a point where your luck runs out. And this looks like it's that point.
Well, let's say all these cycles, man, talk about the ups and downs. Like every kingdom ended eventually.
Yeah,
So that cycle doesn't work. It doesn't work forever.
looking good. They're losing jobs by the minute.
Yes.
They're losing jobs by the minute.
Yeah.
You got that?
No.
Still got the artist?
Yeah, I still got it. Yeah.
Real quick. So Starman, yeah, go on.
This is Mark 13:8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows.
Right. So these things have happened, because remember, they were saying the world was going to end back in the Crusades. Because if you go back into the history, right, like if you type in famines to Wikipedia, it'll give you a list of all the famines that's happened in history. There's been a lot of major famines. There's been a lot of major wars. Yeah. But if you look at it, it was all. If you was to go back to like the 1600s, yeah, it was just the beginning. Now we're at the end. This ain't. We're right at the end of because, like I said, there was times where that's why people got tired of people saying it's the end of the world, because World War I happened, man, saying it's the end. Or before that, there was always wars and famines and things of this nature. But this thing that's what to happen right now, I'm sorry, it's the end.
Because there's a whole bunch of prerequisites that have to take place in prophecy for it to be the end, like the end of the end, right? And those signs, they didn't exist back then. Babylon the Great wasn't around yet. The eighth head from the seventh didn't come yet. Right. And all these different things. We've had 2 world wars in that time period since Babylon's been there. So we're in that time period now.
Yeah, even in Second Nations, it tells you that all those things, these are the beginning of sorrows. Because these things are happening. It's not like famine ain't happened for the last 2,000 years. It's happened. But bro,
This famine?
Yeah.
What's it?
This is unprecedented. The world has never really been disconnected. Like, basically, a handbrake is just getting speeding on the motor, and man just pulled the handbrake. That's what's about to happen. That's
Yeah. What once again? So cool. What do we call it? Almost Professor Zhang. Pseudo Professor Zhang.
Pseudo Zhang.
Right? Pseudo Zhang. Right? He was like, look, man, this artificial fertilizer is what's allowed the world to get to 8 billion people. That's what they say. But basically, what he said is that really we can only manage 2 billion. So telling you a whole bunch of people will die. That's what the scripture says. I'll get it. You know.
So we go First Peter 4 and the 6. It say for this for this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to Most High in the spirit. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer.
That's right. You got to be sober-minded, man, because we really at the end. This thing is really going down. The hindermost of the nation, Babylon the Great, is at its fall. It's there, and they're at their most proud. They're speaking the most proud. Now we make jokes all the time that when the missiles is going to be dropping on America, Trump is going to be telling everyone is like, yeah, America's hardest it's ever been. It's the greatest country in the world, and I died to defend it. You know them ones? They're going to be saying we winning the war, and while the missiles is dropping from unknown location, America's through. It's at its end, but they think they're going to be able to control what comes after, but they're not. Yahweh Shai is what comes after. And it's peak for the whole world. It's peak for Esau. Because all your plans and all your mechanization, it ain't going to mean nothing when Yahweh Shai turns up. Because Yahweh Shai is a true power.
At this point, the device of crafted.
You're dealing with a true power out here, bro. You're not dealing with no little man thing. Yeah, this is real power that you're dealing with, man. The charity.
It's funny because it was Trump told Starmer he got like toys, isn't it?
Yeah,
toy boats, like you got the toy power, bro. You know,
all that shit talking and all of that sideshow talking Trump does is one of the reasons why people are just like not really clocked on to what's going on, because they got a constant reality TV show going on every day and get you tuned in. Like, oh, he said this and this and that.
Well, it skimmed his ear. Fight, man.
Every day he's saying something crazy, or he's putting out a tweet that captivates people, and it's like, yo, can we look at the hard figures and numbers about what's going on here? No,
he's a whooping skip, bro.
Yeah,
He's actually reality.
It's kick.
Yeah.
It's kick. In a minute, they're gonna give him a kick live stream, and it's gonna be there, and so crazy shit will be happening.
Day in the life of Trump.
It actually is a day in the life. Because the other day, it's done. The war's done. Everyone's dead.
it's been done 20 times over.
Like, he's coming back. Whoa, it's not. It's
not
not
done.
It's not a war. Bro.
Now they don't. Now first he said he was talking to a leader, the new regime. Now he's saying there ain't no leader. Then he said yesterday we're phoning people. Who's the leader? We don't know. Come on,
Who you call it?
that's not how it works. I'm just picking up the phone.
Hey.
And
It's Trump.
some guy in a bodega in Iran. They go, who's this? Trump. Is the leader there?
The leader there. They're sending messages about pigeons again.
Hold on, I have to go and speak to him.
I have to set up a new phone line and everything like that.
Come on, man.
So then who you been? And you know how you realize how incompetent this is, because you've been telling people you've been negotiating with these people for at least 3-4 weeks. Now you're saying they ain't got a leader. So that's just, it's just more bullshit. Like, it's like, hold on. So you've been negotiating, but you haven't actually signaled. You haven't even in that negotiation said, okay, who gets to make this decision? That's one of the first things. If I'm negotiating with you, I need to know that the result of my negotiation is gonna lead to something. I'm not just gonna, and then you turn around and say to me, "Oh, but I'm not the leader. I don't even know who that is." What the fuck?
Some random Iranian.
Me negotiating with me to sell his car, and you go what?
That just shows you the whole thing is a farce. It's a theater. Every day, what they're telling you ain't even really what's happening. It's just to keep you strung along while they dismantle the global train.
It's literally the conversation is based on what was on the TV. You know what I mean? Or we call the news article. Trump said this.
Iran said they're gonna give me this, and then Iran will put out a tweet like, "We don't even know what this man's talking about."
They sent me a ship with bare barrels of oil.
They gave me a gift. No, the whole thing is a farce, man.
Right, this is I just got this is Isaiah 19:14. The Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. You know, and it's like if we observe Babylon from the leadership on down to the common man, they're just bugged out, right?
Bugged out.
Everyone lost their
Peter
mind.
Thiel and all these guys talking about Satan every other day, talking about Antichrist and Satan, telling people they're gonna take your jobs.
Yeah.
This is insane. This is insane. Like you're living in an insane time where basically man are telling you you're obsolete, but at the same time saying, but it's gonna be okay.
That's an oxymoron, though.
It's foolish.
You know what I mean? Like, listen, man.
But once
The master doesn't want to give his slaves, man, full like control and blessing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, you know.
No, the drug epidemic still didn't they blow up? Didn't they conquer Venezuela? What happened?
Yeah.
They said they conquered Venezuela
In the night.
so that all the cocaine could stop coming into America.
Yeah.
No, ain't even one bit of powder stop flowing in the streets, man. Man, are up out here. Like. What packet's still moving around?
Yeah. So where is he? The actual president? Like?
No one's seen this dude.
nobody knows. Well, I think then they put him in the same prison as Kells and all of that.
So he's always on the yard.
You know,
My man, Devin. Charlie Kirk is.
Yeah.
That is Israel. This is ridiculous.
He's someone with two facts.
In Argentina, this no, but you make a good point. You see how it moves on, and everyone forgets all that shit even happened. Like, what happened with that then? So does that mean that you solved the drug problem? Because that's why they said they went in there. They said they need all these drugs, meth and all that is coming in through Venezuela. So we need to. So is it over now then? The drug crisis.
It's kind of as well. It's like when you look at they once again they push this idea of incompetency, right? That D Trump is just incompetent. One of the things that they were saying early on with this Iran thing. He's not expected to ask enough?
No, I think
Oh, it's broke. Okay.
Oh,
the tree.
and then the youths have to go sit there. Well, you know, if it was a bunch of dark-skinned Jakes now, apparently Edomites don't do things like this. The only people that do crazy
They're
shit.
in whiteface. But I was just saying, because one of the things that they said when they went into Iran is, they thought it was going to be like Venezuela, right? Basically giving you this idea of, the plan was for a quick in and out operation like Venezuela, and then that will be the end. But as we're starting to see what's
The
happening,
plan actually was for a long drawn out, put the world in a headlock. Like.
Yeah. And then say it's Iran blocking the Strait of Hormuz.
I'll raise yours straight.
Yeah. Because that's once again that's another thing that they were saying about the next escalation. That they're gonna, I forgot the other strait, but the other, you know, so that's
Yemen.
yeah. So it's like what they're basically saying now is if they do actually bomb Iran next time, it's done. Which this is Trump. He's gonna bomb.
Yeah, sure. I'll grab another one. Then the American gas prices will go down. Man said there ain't no inflation. Yo, yeah. Hey, go. You had the Starbucks. Okay, you go, sir.
I just had a quick point. This is Ecclesiastes 9:12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them.
And that's what's going to happen. A lot of people have had a lot of hope. Everyone's got a dream of chasing that bag, yeah? All them dreams for millions of people going to come to an end. You know, a lot of people got dreams of grandeur, especially in America, but everyone want to be a rapper or they got something they want to achieve. A lot of men join the military just to get in and out, bro. A lot of men ain't join the military to fight for no America, bro. Man, the America, that's why you got a lot of ethnics and that in the American military. Because the American military, if you don't die or get maimed, that's actually a good way to get a leg up.
But like,
if you don't come out with mad PTSD from Vietnam or something, it's a good way to get your qualification.
A lot of people use that to fail school.
K or school
School
debt,
debt,
like,
medical care,
medical
a
you
lot.
could come out. You could come out of the military up.
Yeah.
It's a platform if you're coming from poverty.
Yeah.
The military, but that's if you don't lose 5
to,
legs.
to be fair, man, I've got my cousin, man. You know, girl, this is back in the days. Bro, she's a millionaire now.
Yeah, but that's why the women were joining the military.
Jeez.
Because remember, people forget that the military has different sections too. It's not just everyone joins the military and it's all, bro, there's man that's cooks, that's chefs in the military, and that's all
Technical
part-
engineers.
yeah, there's different roles in the military. Admin, whatever, you join the military. But guess what? Now ain't a good time.
But, but it-
World War III ain't the time.
The country needs you.
but that's how you know a lot of them ain't coming back, because you're gonna be coming up against men that are actually about this. If you're just a 19-year-old Chad who just wanted to pay off your credit, your student loan, right? You ain't got the heart.
Oh, you know why?
And you ain't backed up by the air support.
Yeah.
Now you got to fight a real ground war.
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
said. But that's what they said. You know, some of the American mercenaries that went to go fight in American and British mercenaries that went to go fight in Ukraine. That's one of the things. I was like, yo, like man will get injured and there was no medivac. He was like, what is this? Because he's so used to being in the actual military, where back then at least you would get medivac. Their advantage.
You know, it's an interesting point you made on like young Chad not knowing to fight and it brings problems. Makes you think about Vietnam, which I was, you know, when one of these days I'll do a video on. During the conflict in Vietnam, things got so bad that you actually had active troops trying to kill the commanders, and then with them hand grenades, because you know explodes and stuff, and it got so tense between like the Jake soldiers in Vietnam and the Edomite that they would publish like magazines, because around that time was just the whole civil rights movement thing, so there was a lot of tension, and there started being bounties against commanders. You know what I mean? Because you know, like a person might know that they're going home in, let's say, 9 weeks or whatever, so they might not want to fight like in the heat of the battle. But what started kind of happening was a lot of them vets or those troops over there were obviously high on, you know, the heroin and shit. So here it is. I'm checking my calendar down, counting day by day of when I'm going home. You've now taken away my drugs, so now I'm acting fucking erratic. And on top of that, you're purposely going to try and force me to work
go to the front line.
So it's like, now I'm seeing you, commander, as you're trying to kill me. So it got so bad. I think I have to find the term starts with an F, you know, and I'm sure. But basically, it got so bad that certain people were putting bounties on commanders' heads in their own military. You know what I mean? So that was, and people were spreading information on magazines like Propaganda, Stop the War. So imagine now with the advent of social media, quick news.
Well, the Israeli military is demotivated. Because the Israeli military, a lot of them man that's in there are supposed to be in there to get in and out. Now they're in Lebanon fighting dudes with hard dudes with beards, but getting ambushed.
It was I don't know if it was like Hezbollah propaganda or whatever, but basically they had videos of them basically going to the battlefield in their burial shroud. It's like if they die, cool, just wrap it up and then just charge it.
These men on a suicide mission, bro. I mean, they don't care. They don't come back.
How you fight a guy like that?
These men want to make it back and go back to Old McDonald's.
You fight a guy like that by bombing them from the air. But the thing is, like that
Cowards away.
That advantage, is going to be taken away, and just like with the American military, this thing's going to have to go to the old school, the ground war.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
It made me think about Conor and then Khabib. You know, remember we had
Talk now.
Talk now. Why you that? He was on him, bro. Like, as soon as they got to him, because remember Conor. Remember when the first fight, I believe, the first round, Conor was doing all that standing shit. As soon as the bell went, he actually went for a takedown. Remember that? Remember when they he just shot from the leg straight away? No, we're getting straight there.
which I've not watched.
They never had a
Yeah.
He's done, man. Man got lucky. Aldo.
Oh yeah,
Aldo was
Aldo
emotional,
jumped
innit?
straight in there. What was chilling there? Yeah.
Fools are rushing, like they say.
Aldo's fault, bro.
And his whole career was built from that moment.
Bro, that's one of the moments where you should have just been respectful, but he tried to sell the fight.
Yeah.
He tried to play a character.
Yeah.
Bro, them Chechen man are serious bread. Like them man from them regions there.
They're simple. That was what I was mentioning. There was a documentary. Clips I remembered from it anyway. Where basically it's like the life they live is simple. They're all about the boxing, right? It's like this is what we do.
Just being
Bro, them Americans got too much going on.
Yeah.
They got too much social media and too much aspirations.
aspiration.
Yeah, I ain't single.
Yeah,
When the man are from other places in the world, their life's so simple.
Yeah.
Like they don't worry about nothing like that. You want to be a rapper still. You got dreams of being a DJ. Man don't know nothing about them just being in the military. You killed my uncle. I just need to get revenge for that.
Yeah.
And that's it. Very simple, man. And if I die, my wife will understand.
Yeah, for real.
She charging
For
it.
real.
She's at the funeral. Bro, them
Yeah,
Iranians,
yeah.
they're talking about women under oppression. Bro, some of the Iranian women are out there, yeah, like they were
Strapping up
standing, but they chose to go out there and be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yo, drop the bomb then.
Charge it.
Like charge it. Like we're out here, like them American women.
Bro,
be doing
I'm
that, bro.
fucking scrolling on TikTok.
They
dude,
soft.
we're wearing a clown suit on live.
Get out here, man.
Can I grab this?
They be with it, man. They be wanting their man to get revenge.
But because it's once again, it's that difference between individualisticness and for the people.
Yeah.
That's one of the things they keep saying is Iran is a nation of 90 million proud people.
Yeah,
right, for
America's
the
a nation of 350 million narcissistic individuals.
Jeremiah 51 and 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might has failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places.
And even if you can, once you can mix in that, is obviously the wine. Like as much as Babylon is the snare to the nations, the wine eventually the snare to their own people. So like now, bro, that's why you got niggas on the front line are transgender. Why that? Like you got military men, fucking on drugs and shit.
Yeah.
High as shit on the base.
Yeah.
Like it's a snare.
Yeah, to build on that as well, though, is the idea of all of these battles are going to be easy.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah,
that's one of the
yeah.
things I remember. Just everything that they were saying about Russia in Ukraine was like, you see, like, and you could see that you'd have a lot of people that are watching that. Be like, oh, so we came against Russia. We'd be like, what?
Charge it. Yeah.
It'll be easy. They can't even beat the Ukrainians.
The Russian tactic wasn't to just go in there
Exactly.
and destroy Ukraine.
Yeah.
They play the long game, grind them down, and win the victory in the long term with less money expended. But
And more of the infrastructure remaining, so you can just
they didn't do the shock and all. But they could have done that. They could have flattened up fucking what's the Kiev one time, but they didn't want to do that. And the same thing, but you see with Iran now, the American military, man, it's prophecy. A lot of American soldiers are gonna die, man, because the advantages that perceivably America had are really not there no more.
Yeah.
War moves on. War moved on from aircraft carrier. That's why the aircraft carrier, they're out of the range. They have to stay out of range of these missiles.
Yeah.
That didn't happen in Iraq.
Yeah.
They could come close to Iraq, park up the, and if Hellfire missiles flying and then the air is flat as well. Iraq's not got nowhere for these men to hide. They pretty much took out the main Iraqi military like quick.
Yeah.
It was like, yo, these men are getting killed from the sky. Then you had a few insurgents that they had to deal with and a few little men, and that's it. Yeah. You can't do that with Iran. Them men are in bunkers waiting. They're like, come, listen. We want you
They
to
said
bring
that.
your guys into
Yeah.
our zone.
Yeah.
If you come close enough, now it's this. Now it's man who's brave enough.
Yeah.
Because you give
Bro.
two man guns, it's matic for matic. You
Bro.
see what happened when PSG are buying guns.
That's true.
You have to go like.
Bro,
That's
it's
it.
like someone's like a little example, bro. Mike Tyson, in his prime, bro. My stars and Tetris. I'm ferocious. I will eat your heart.
Yeah. Danny Boy.
Yeah, like he was crazy. Like, the point is, like, his style, like, alone, the passion and how he's fighting.
Yeah.
Niggas don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Now, imagine you're in the middle of the field and You're all there just eating Skittles and shit. And this nigga,
Out of nowhere.
This nigga's crazy.
Yeah.
Yo,
Because they asked Morandi, you know, that side, the one that calls them the Epstein class, him, they asked him, it was like, so what would you do what would Iran do, you know, if they came and did a ground invasion? It's like, well, let them.
Yeah. Because you're coming on there to rape,
They're coming out.
and they got,
Yeah, exactly.
they got massive military, so you're never gonna have you're never gonna have an advantage in terms of the force.
Plus, once again, they're an enemy. You're an enemy
Behind enemy
territory.
lines, bro.
And the geography is gonna not just the topography of Iran, but it's just like, let's say you're using the bases in the Gulf, right? Which that's one of the reasons that he said once again that they are gonna have to take out the leaders of the Gulf nations. Because actually, on what you're saying about the aircraft carriers are out of range, so it is the Gulf nations that are helping to end this war against Iran, right? But basically saying, look, man, if we take out the heating, you're gonna cook. They're gonna get cooked in that heat. Would you call it? You know, water.
And they're gonna send more.
It's like 30, 40.
And summer's coming.
Yeah,
So the more
so that's what I'm
Americans
saying,
die,
in the middle of
their solution to that would be to send more Americans.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say this though, right? Because no prolonged war is an easy war.
Yeah.
It don't matter who you think the opposition is, man. The fact that you man in Afghanistan for like 20 years and didn't choose
And they're gonna do what they normally do. Listen,
It's not an easy
we always talk about World War II. There was a lot of battles that didn't have to be fought, man. But a sacrifice had to be made.
Yes.
And you Americans are gonna be that sacrifice. They're gonna send you over there and put you in battles that they know you're gonna die.
Yeah.
But that's all right because they wanna depopulate you, man, anyway. So
Yeah.
they'll just keep sending more and more of you
Yeah.
to get killed over there in this Iranian war. And it's the judgment of the Lord, man.
It'll be-
They're gonna give you minimal training.
and then just an extra justification to keep on fighting.
Yeah.
So,
What?
in honor of the
They're
great story that
gonna get that microwave training, you know.
like look, just do burpees and pull ups.
Yeah.
Come, let's go.
So
That's
You need to can't do the pull up. Just
Yeah.
do a knee.
Yeah. Because even on that, don't be surprised, because this is it. The morale of the American people really ain't with it. But if one of them aircraft carriers goes,
That's a lot of people.
All the food. Hey, listen, bro. Man's like, listen, you're struggling. We get it. Join up to the military. Your family's taken care of.
yeah.
Man, will do it, bro. Man's like, you know, I'm struggling to feed my family, but if I sign up to this military, take this chip, they're gonna put my family in this camp, and they're gonna be taken care of. But a lot of man will do it.
Yeah, in fact,
A lot of man will go. They'll say, "Fuck it, blood. I can't feed these youths are crying, blood." You know what I'm saying, blood?
what would you do if your son?
I'll read this off. Yourself out.
In yourself,
the
blood.
American war machine.
Of 2 Ezra 16 and 33. The virgins shall mourn having no bridegroom.
Mm.
The women shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegroom be destroyed.
Yeah, so this war, it's not going to be a war of infrastructure only. There's going to be a lot of blood spilled in this war. Right now, man ain't seen nothing yet. This is just the beginning. But there is going to be a ground war. The ground invasion is going to happen. And you Americans that they get sent over there, the first lot of you ain't coming back. They're going to send you in there and you are going to die there.
Yeah.
Blaka. That's just like that. And then they're going to have to bring more. And that's exactly what happened in World War II. World War I was the same. When they started World War I, you go back to the official record, that was supposed to be done. Then all of a sudden, everyone's dead. Oh, shit. I need to do a draft because these machine guns are effective. They were just running dudes into fucking machine gun fire. Man didn't know nothing about this type of thing. And so, because those generals, this is the alleged narrative, come from the old school. In the old school, if you could throw men at it, you just throw men at it and overpower them with man. Man's running with their musket and
muskets and
bro, this thing wasn't working like that.
with one with knife.
Them man are just sitting there in this gun thing. They got the what's it called? The mortar. The mortar throwing it. A man just there going, and there's another guy just feeding it in. Bro, man's getting licked down. Your whole crew's gone, and then next man coming over the line.
Same thing.
This is gonna be that all over again because it's gonna go back to that, and it's gonna be drones this time too. Drones are gonna be.
Bro, have you seen some of the videos of like Ukraine? Yeah, that shit looks deep, right?
Oh,
In the middle of nowhere. And the drones What's and he's
And he's trying. He's trying. And it just
Bro, they got drones, they got missiles. They're gonna take a lot of men are gonna get taken out because just like in Saving Private Ryan, man's on the boat, they're getting taken out on the boat. Man's gonna get taken out on the plane. A lot of Americans are gonna die, and it's gonna be such a tragedy.
Yeah.
Right? They're gonna spin it and say, "Yo, this is we need to send more." And the more they send, the more is gonna die, and then the war is gonna get bigger, and in more regions. Because remember this one thing: if America starts looking weak, just know that's when other men start looking spooky now. They're like, okay, because what happened with CENTCOM? Them men are begging for the fucking THAAD missiles from PACCOM. Because they only have a certain amount of missiles and they've got it. So you got each general's got their own thing going on. So the PACCOM man's like, what do you mean? I was like, yo, we need your ones. Bro, don't you know we got China over here?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be protecting I need to do my job effectively. You use that, you got all your shit blown up. Now you're taking my shit. So then what does that do? You're weakening PACCOM.
and that's why the Taiwanese second in what you call opposition. She was like, "Look, China, can I visit? Exactly. Let's deal with this amicably."
If America gets bogged down into a war with Iran, which is already, don't listen to these Europeans. They're gonna get dragged in. It's just that right now they want this thing to go the way it's going, but eventually they're gonna send military over there because that's when they'll wait for it to become a problem when men are dying in the streets. Now they're gonna say, "Oh, we need to. It's our war now because people die." Send man over there. When you're busy over there getting slaughtered, all of a sudden you don't look strong in South America no more. All of a sudden Venezuela's like, "Yo, actually, boy." Obviously, if them when they came and match work before, we couldn't take on the whole American military, but them men are over there.
Let the weak say they're strong.
So all of a sudden you got man like Venezuela, certain man are thinking, you know what?
Man,
Yeah,
use that here.
if we go at America, what are they gonna do? All this
So they can't react. So
now, what's it called? What's that called? No, that's not US. Yeah, that's not US com. What's the South com? What's it called? What's the unified command? Because every one of them has a unified command.
Right.
Because the global. Oh,
But even as brothers, elders looking up, that is you've also got the Strait of Malacca, right? Which America just started. I forget which countries that covers, but it's basically if you're coming from Arabia, you're trying to ship things. No, Malacca. That's that one's in this one's in Asia.
Okay, my
Yeah, but it's like if you're coming from Arabia, and that basically
the other one. Yeah.
it's the one where basically you can choke China off, and you just basically have. I think it's next to Singapore, one of them. I forget, but basically what they're saying is that like America has now started doing war games with the neighboring countries. So if you're China, you're gonna be like, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying?
So look, you got CENTCOM, yeah, and you got obviously US AFRICOM. You got Southcom, which is South America. If you're getting all this infrastructure and destroyed in CENTCOM, and now you're sucking, you got to suck like all this infrastructure and all of that from the other. It makes them all weak. So now your enemies in that region that would normally be like, well, we ain't gonna want to step to America because if Venezuela stepped to America a certain way, they're gonna bring all that aircraft carrier and all that shit, and they focus on us. Now you're tied up with Iran in a real war where you have to bring all these major assets in. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
What happens if we try and do a thing now?
Yeah. It's like they stretched out too far.
What are you gonna do now? You have to respond. So now you're fighting on two fronts.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, China's taking Taiwan.
But that's what happened with
3 fronts.
Remember, that's what happened with Russia and Syria. They said that Russia was trying to help to that base when it came to take Assad. It was like, look, man, we ain't got the resources.
They still got their base in Syria. That was the deal. So they did that. Fuck it. Who gives a damn? So you gotta realize, like Libya, AFCOM, Libya. Remember the prophecy speaks about Libya. Now all of a sudden, the Russians start fomenting problems for America in AFRICOM. Now AFRICOM's got a problem. AFRICOM's like, yo, we need our assets. No, but we need the assets. all of a sudden, all that American military starts looking weaker and weaker because the weaker you get, the more your enemies are like, we got a chance here.
Yeah.
And that's World War III, but it's going to start in the Middle East.
Because as well, you talked about old technology and old ways of fighting. One of the things America had was that air superiority. Yeah. But what we've seen with the downing of the F-35, with the down, which what they said is they used new, infrared,
Yeah.
right? And there's, so basically, it's sort of like, well, you no longer have that ability to just fly unimpeded into a nation, because nations that do have the military
Which they can
arsenal,
share.
which they can share, because that's the thing. It's like they were talking about having aircraft carriers off of like trying to fight China, because they were saying, look, if you're trying to fight China, you have to stay 700 miles out, something like basically a long way away, because they've got hypersonics that can hit you, right? So, but then you got a problem of your aircrafts can't go in from 700 miles away. So that means you need the refuelers, but they're sitting ducks. And then one thing that they're working on as well, something called a squid, which is basically you got your submarines, which basically to raid sonar. Sorry, you can't see them on sonar, right? But a squid basically works on geographic, gravitational. No, it's acronym. Sorry. It's like I should explain. My apologies. To be fair, when I first read the headline, I thought it was like, but it said the acronym is SQUID, and basically where it works allegedly is it uses the slight shifts in gravitational pull to be able to detect where a submarine is. So now your submarines are no longer invisible. Now your planes are no longer invisible.
Then it's a real war.
Yeah.
There's going to be pain.
Yeah.
Pain on both sides. But that's what the Lord wants, pursuant to Isaiah the 34th chapter, man. The Lord wants there to be pain on both sides. And don't think we're saying that the other side ain't going to be catching it.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's going to catch it, man.
It's cool. Is it cool if I go?
I've got a quick preset before.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
let's go on and say in war, in 2 Ezra 16 and 24, in the wars shall their bridegroom be destroyed, and their husband shall perish with famine.
So all of a sudden, America's fighting a war in South America too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you got certain South American countries that be like F America, man. Because the king bleeds.
You know, I find interesting the sexual outlook towards this, the husbands are dying family. Now, obviously, though that didn't happen in now, what was interesting is that because they had the ground invasion, a lot of their food supply was basically at lowest kind of standard. So the average troop is going on the battlefield. It was just a poor, like barely any minerals.
Yeah, well, spam wasn't that from Vietnam? Yeah.
I was dealing with the prostitutes as well. So that's minerals.
Zinc depleted.
But on that, even you're gonna have a whole load of nations that when this war happens, right, they're gonna be annoyed at the presence of America for all of them history.
You're gonna make it hard.
Yeah. It's sort of like why Japan don't get on with China and Korea, because they were just raping the women there. So if there was because Japanese are more America-aligned, if they're then fighting on behalf of America in China, bro, them people they still remember it, because this was their granddad, their grandma. You know what I'm saying? So similarly, a lot of
the Japanese have a reason to hate America too. So
yeah.
Hey, Australia got some decisions to make.
Yeah.
How much pain do they want to face? Do they stay with America or do they side with China? Because, like I said, when your brother can't make it, like when Pat Cummins struggling, are you willing to? People start looking at it like, oh, like what side is this gonna fall on? Am I better off am I better off staying with America and they're on the other side of the world, or am I better off with China? Right here.
I'm gonna be honest. Like when I've looked at the Korea situation, like North Korea gets oil via China. So if you're South Korean, you ain't getting no oil, you may have to make a deal. You may have to be like, look, man. Yeah, exactly. Once again, hey, big head.
Like not water under the bridge, bro.
Exactly.
It's like, do we really care about this? Like people, man.
Orange people.
North and South are one.
That's it.
You know?
That's it. Which the American military they really pissed off a lot of the Koreans, man.
They took them fans.
Yeah, we spoke about a few weeks ago how American military personnel basically are exempt in these bases, and it was for most crimes. It was like in Asia in general. Then you got like in Japan and Korea the same. You get like 99% conviction rate. Yeah, out of like 50,000 crimes, only 300 have ever been convicted, and that's been a lot of it been to public pressure. So same here, you had it with the American diplomat who killed a girl who was in Scotland. She ran over her and then just was able to go away scot-free.
People are going to be attacking these American bases.
Oh,
People are going to be attacking these American bases. They're like, you know what? Now it's time to get these Yankees out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to turn on America around the world.
Oh, because you got bases here in the UK. Nobody knows that the locals don't like the bases being there. Like they don't even know whether the bases have nuclear weapons on them or not. They're like, yo, what the hell is
These man here, like I said, Europe, they're going to jump in. This pussy. Until the end, when they decide they're going to nuke America. But they're going to go over there and die. Starmer, yeah, go on.
It's Joel chapter 3, verse 9. So proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pointing hooks into
So
spears.
this is what these nations have been doing. They've been dying. And the funny thing is, bro, this Pete Hegseth, man, he's a gift that keeps on giving. Man said, like, when they 2 days before, Trump was like, oh, we can't be paying for the daycare. We got a war to fight, right? So he was basically saying, look, the war comes for that, right? And then Pete Hegseth said about Iran, like 2 days later, he was like, well, you know, see, this is why the Iranian regime is evil, because look, they've got all these weapons and these drones when they could have been spending that money on their people. No.
And this is after they asked for more budget for the war.
Bro, these men are crazy.
I know it.
But the point is, all these nations have invested heavily in their military. But the thing you gotta realize about the American military is it's a scam.
Yeah.
The problem with the American military is it just got too much money. And there comes a point where when you got a blank check here, man just take the piss.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened with the American military, whereas Russia didn't have the blank check.
Yeah.
They didn't have the world reserve currency to run with. So when they came up with a missile, bro,
Best missile.
man, I'm going to give you a certain amount of money a year, but bro, if you don't fucking come up with something that works, you're going to kill you. We're not playing games, bro. You need to, and not only that, right? These men are invested, and they're actually patriotic.
Yeah.
These American companies, they're not patriots, bro. These men are like, yo, how can we get the most money out of the American government? Whether this thing works or not, or is effective, is not what's important. What's important is we need to get a slick talker up in that boardroom that's going to make it look like it's effective. That's all we need. As long as it looks effective, and we can get them billions of dollars in, I go live in Monaco. It's not even a problem. This is the issue that America has. So Russia developed hypersonic missiles on minimal budget, but it works. It's effective. Drones. Russia's a big part of the drones.
It was interesting because I saw one of the videos where one of these commentators speaking about with this whole Russia and Ukrainian conflict, what's going on. They're basically displaying to the world how to maintain a long war with certain like new inventions and weapons and stuff. So it's kind of basically advertising to a lot of countries around the world. Look, man, if you need them guns, bro.
But that's what Iran has got.
Yeah.
So you got Iran now, even though Iran ain't had the money, so to speak. What they do have is the intelligence, because they don't have a shortage of intelligent people. Because what America would tell you is, in order to be intelligent, you have to go to an Ivy League American university, which is not true, right? So the Iranians have the intelligence and the will to make it work. Same with China. China, bro, the technological level that China's on over there, bro. I've been watching some of the car shows and that, how they manage to do all that. Because these men that they get, are just groomed to just be, to do. It's not about money to these men. It's about being the best. And America, so like in 1 second, America is a lot about fake it till you make it. You don't have to be the best singer. We just need to convince these dickheads over here you're the best singer. Isn't that what America is? America is all about fake it till you make it, and if the bread is there, who cares if it's real or not? It doesn't have to be the best burger. We just have to make people think it's the best burger. Make it look like it's the best burger. And as long as this motherfucker pays me $50 for the burger, we winning and we yachting and we're going to Monaco. The rest of the world doesn't work like that. Man are they work based upon value. Like, what is the value of what I'm producing? And it has to mean something. So Iran have made these weapons and they actually fucking work. And they're cheap. Whereas in America, if you had to make a drone the same way, man would say, yeah, that's gonna cost you $1 trillion. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah. But just
It'd be the best one though. It'd be the
just
best.
sign it off. Shit's floppy and don't work properly. But you know what? Yeah, if that don't work, that's all right. We'll have an upgraded one that we can sign them up to the next time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what's happened with America.
And there'll be delays.
There'll be delays, and this brother said the bushels or a little bit of bushels will be $50. That same bushels, Iran will just have it at cost. They'll be like, what does it cost for the bushels? Okay, good. And here's some bread to feed the family and get the bushels. No, what does it cost? Okay, put another million on top of that so you can live in Monaco.
But that's what I was gonna build on what you're saying, because when you contrast America to say some of these other nations, general things are cheap. So, for instance, in China, there is a notion that a house isn't an asset, i.e., everyone has the right to own a home. So, if 90% of the population own a home, it's sort of like, why are we stunting here for? When your regular cost to travel to buy a car is so low, you don't need to be doing all of this extra stuff. But in America, you need to do extra stuff to have a little bit of extra, right? You need to be doing a hell of a load of corruption. No, I'm saying you need to be doing you need to be doing a whole load of corruption to be living better than the next man, right? But in other countries, you don't necessarily need to do that.
No. So that on less money, these men have actually created an effective form of warfare that's working against the American military. The American military is outdated. But they've spent $1 trillion every year. It's bloated and outdated, and it's ready to go.
And inefficient.
And this is what they're learning. But arrogance is gonna get them to keep sending man into this thing to die. Pride. That's what it's not. You have to accept sometimes when you cook.
And necessity.
No, I was going to read this and I'll read this. It says Obadiah 1 and 2. Behold, I think from a previous point earlier on. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
Oh, the world's looking like this is crazy, bro. Like everyone's trying to recover from the C-19 thing, and you've just gone and done this bullshit. And now the whole world's affected. For what? Oh, because we've saved the world from nuclear. No, nobody was waking. Listen, bro. This is what we do know. Nobody was waking up in the morning worried about whether Iran was going to launch a nuclear weapon and destroy it.
Can I give you proof of that statement? To prove that the Quran is telling the truth, everyone was going to Dubai. Their neighbors. If you're so scared about Iran bombing with a nuke, you wouldn't go to the neighbor of, oh, they're going to kill us.
So now you've irresponsibly messed up the whole planet. And the world's looking at that, but you guys are dickheads.
And then you do it.
You know what's mad? When like it's mad when your average everyday man is like, oh, fuck America, man. Like, you know, them store hats. Even
I've never had to say fucking wrong. I've never had to say it.
I had to.
It's a great say. But even you know it's real when you got certain bacon hats. Hey, what's happening over there? Bacon hats.
But you know, it's because people are hurt.
And from time of bacon hats, you know.
What's this all about, man? Like, what is it really all about, man?
Yeah.
Esau just causing havoc, you know?
That's like to wake it up.
Dagonite assemble.
Dagonite assemble. They kind of stuff. Bushes and shit.
Like, just learn how to spell Iran, like
Iran.
fucking Iran.
It's better with
Fucking yeah, mate. Like fucking putting our petrol prices up for what? For what? Get them out of there. Yeah. let the Saudis deal with the Iranians.
It's sweet seeing the
Fucking
downfall.
Man City, you know what I mean? Like, it's the fucking Man City owners. Yeah? Deal with it.
I fucking did it. Oh man,
There you go, man.
exactly.
Gonna rename the Emirates Stadium. He judges his prime East
Prime
London.
bacon. I think he's on a strict bacon diet. Absolutely.
Now, pie and mash, man.
Pie and mash.
Jelly eel.
Yeah,
Jelly, yeah.
Probably sounds so smooth. That's just be chicken.
So the brother asks, side effects of an empire's military ingenuity declining as they swell. One major side effect of an empire's military ingenuity declining while the empire keeps expanding, swelling, is that it becomes large but brittle. As empires grow, they need better strategy, logistics, discipline, and innovation to hold vast borders. If ingenuity declines, several things usually happen, right? Reliance on old tactics. They keep winning.
Which is what we're saying.
Yep.
Shock and awe.
On the ship.
Yes. I think the reason why this question that Bo was asked is good is because sometimes when you're looking at the war, you're just looking at missile drop.
Yeah.
Right.
How effective it is, but it's just
But it's like, but you see, there's a whole system behind getting that plane. Because that's why one of the things that they did before they started this war, and that's what it was, moving a whole load of assets into the region. Right, you've got the Aegis, AEGIS, on the ships, on the aircraft carriers, which allows them to talk between each other. Then you think about when you got that F-35 flying, it only has a couple of hours, if that, of flight time. You need to have the strato tankers in the sky to be able to exactly. So the strato tanks are like here, and that, you know, and the fighter jets are going in, refueling, going in. There's a whole infrastructure design. Right, so it says reliance on old tactics. They keep winning yesterday's wars with outdated methods while enemies adapt. Overextension. Yo, it's been listening to us, bro.
Yeah. That's why I said shit when I saw it.
Overextension.
Yeah, more overextension, more land to defend, but less ability to defend it efficiently. Higher costs, lower returns.
Which is why when Trump was doing, again, he was playing on the ignorance of the American public. NATO is instrumental in the projection of American power throughout the world. It's an absolutely effective staging ground for American military to go into the rest of the world. If you were to remove all the military bases from Europe, America's global empire collapses. Period. Even if you look, a lot of times when they're tracking American attacks, what are they tracking? Movement of planes from where? UK bases, American and French bases into the Middle East. Not from America. They don't start from America and go, rarely, no. The ship moves from America to Europe, it's there, and then from Europe, it moves from Europe down.
You know, and that's why there's been all this talk about the Chagos Islands, right, and all of them places. And when you look at some of these bases, you hear about them. Oh, yeah, the American military base in Guam, and you look where Guam is. It's like, you know,
so they were never going to withdraw the American bases from Europe, and the American presence in Europe was never a charity. It was all part of the projection of American military, right? But really, Trump is planning for America to be downgraded, and as it is, the minute you start talking about, well, maybe I shouldn't leave Europe then. Yeah, that means the American empire is over. You're packing up and you're going home because you're done out here. Which is eventually what they would want to do, but it ain't going to be a home to go back to. That's what we're trying to tell you. Because the scripture says thermonuclear destruction is going to destroy America, man. So it's going to be worse than downgrade. It's going to be wiped out.
A mercenary dependence, instead of elite citizen soldiers or motivated forces, they hire outsiders with weaker loyalty.
Yeah, it's like, bro, I just came to do a job. Like, I don't like, so that passion isn't really.
Well, you got a lot of ex soldiers talking. They're like on the internet saying, yeah, well, you know, if I don't know what I know now, then it's that Iraq war was bullshit. Like a lot of these, if you actually listen to a lot of these guys, the famous ones, you know, you got that the Negro, the sniper done. Irvin, yeah, he's not running good propaganda for the U.S. military. He's like, yo, man, I wouldn't join. I wouldn't want this. Is all bullshit.
You may turn up dead.
You know, a lot of them guys are saying, yeah, Iraq was bullshit. If we had known what we know. I lost a lot of friends over there from bullshit.
Even his recent, he said his boy killed himself like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he got pulled out for night. Like, his boy.
Yeah, they gotta start taking things out, man. They're not good for morale.
Yeah. Yep.
Good.
Which actually goes into that. Literally, it's almost as if there was pretty much every point we've said, right, it's brought up, right? So it says slow reaction times, rigid command structures replace creative generals. Border raids increase. Rivals notice weakness and test the frontiers.
Which is what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
The deeper they go into this war, the more people are gonna come up against them because they're seeing that even so far they're seeing, hold on, a lot of this Iranian thing kind of works.
Yeah.
Like they absorbed a lot of the pain, but America ain't having it their own way.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean?
just like boxing when you got boxers that fight a certain style and they're going for everyone.
Yeah.
And then someone finds a chink in their arm and the technique,
Yeah.
and the boxers exploited and
Yeah.
it's
But because the dad system basically works.
Yeah.
It's basically the pure boxer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? A boop, it'll hit. But then the pressure fighter thing, the drone strike, just negates it. Yeah, just send 500. It can't catch all of them because it has to respond to each one.
Yeah, it doesn't know.
Yeah, so it's just like you could.
Reminds me of Adrian Broner and my daughter.
Yeah, the pressure.
You try that slick shit and then like bigger phone.
Yeah, but then now all the other nations know. Okay, so this dad system was powerful, but now we know how to make it obsolete.
Which, to be once again, actually, Russia showed them that. I forgot if it was a dad or one of the other ones, but when they were hitting it in Ukraine, right? It showed, oh yeah, you just send loads of decoys, so you get some missiles that actually have decoys built in, so it's coming down, and then like a whole load of decoys will come out, and then the system, so it's true. And these missiles are expensive, and the Iranians know this.
And they can only make so
many.
And you got a system that the production is not
Takes
fast.
not fast.
It's slow, so you can start depleting them.
And a lot of the components come from China.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, it's peak.
It's big, yeah. Because you know there is something to that. Some like they observe their weaknesses. We're like, look, man, we can't compete. But what are your weaknesses? Right? Let me look. Okay, cool.
Making life difficult for you.
Exactly, because when you're looking at the protection of Israel, and that's how you know that Russia and Iran has been doing a lot of damage, is the Israelis used to get like a 5 or so minute warning. Now they're not getting any warning. But when you look at how they were getting that warning, with all of the different radar systems on the way to Israel. So if they're not getting any warning, one can deduce.
It's like what does Trump or America expect to do if they blow the load in Iran, right? And then Russia and China start doing madness. What else to do? Oh, we don't need no. Oh, we can't need no. You know what I mean? What do they expect to do?
Yeah, that's why. Well,
we can.
The whole argument was foolish because if he said, "Well, Russia would take Europe," yeah, and then Russia's more powerful. But anyway, but that's me thinking in a logical geopolitical mind, and you can't think like that when you're dealing with the theatrical, reality TV show. Nothing. The whole Greenland thing, like, yeah, they already had a deal to do what they wanted to do in Greenland. It was all bullshit. Like none of that needed to happen, but it was good for the theatrics and the spectacle of
with
it.
Venezuela, it was like their infrastructure. They can't just turn it up. Their infrastructure is degraded to pump that oil. To the levels required. So it's like, what are we doing?
You're the one that put sanctions on it.
Exactly. That ruined it.
So border raids increase, rivals notice weakness and test the frontiers. Internal power struggles, the fragging the brother was talking about earlier on in Vietnam. The army becomes political rather than professional. Psychological decline, reputation fades. Once enemies stop fearing the empire, challenges multiply.
Iran is like a hero now. In the eyes of the world, they're the freedom fighters, standing up against the great Satan. It's a fact. Everyone's on Iran's side. Even man in America on Iran's side.
But
that's insane.
Didn't brother post a post earlier on saying that if you're against this war or something like that, you're unpaid. It's in the chat. I think I saw it in the chat.
There's
somewhere.
fully man in America and in Britain that are like, yeah, like Iran is the good guy.
Well, even Scott Ritter, the passion he talks.
Yeah, Iran is the good guy. A lot of people are waking up to the fact that America's not the good guy,
Mm.
and they're cooked. So going back to what we were saying about that the weak say I'm strong, man. They've used ingenuity and spent money. They've diverted money from food, like they said, into these weapons. And even though they've not spent as much as America, it's effective because America itself is a farce.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what America's like? Food. There's a documentary I was watching on Netflix showing that America does not produce great cuisine because great cuisine is produced when you got less.
Mm.
So it's like in Ghana, for instance, man only have tomatoes. Some man made jollof. When you got a little, when you just got abundance of meat. When you got abundance of meat, you just slap that thing on the grill, yeah, and it's great. It's a great meal. You don't got to do nothing with it. Most places in the world where man only got a few ingredients and less meat, you have to make it work. So you get the seasoning. It's like soul food. Soul food tastes good because you had to make it work. So then you cook up something amazing.
Man's putting himself into it.
But when you've just got access to a slab of a big tomahawk steak, yeah, you ain't got the time for that, which is why most American cuisine that's any good came from somewhere else. If you're talking about actual American cuisine that was designed there, it doesn't exist. It's something that's come from Italy or it's come from somewhere else where in Italy they've got olives and they just get this seasoning and they make it work and it tastes amazing. So it's the same thing with America. They've got abundance of money and they just splurge it. The Pentagon budget is a blank check.
Yeah.
So man are just there taking the piss. Any minute, any company like Lockheed Martin just turns up with any BS, and then they just get a dumb contract, man. And it's like there's no what's it called?
Due diligence.
There's no
Oversight?
audit. They don't even audit the Pentagon. So imagine that. You imagine, bro. Imagine the amount of money that the Pentagon is really paying for stuff. That is actually not. It maybe like 70% of it is just not. It's just going into man's pockets, bro.
You know what?
We might as well start a weapons company.
Yeah. Do you know what I think about? Like, I don't know if any of you brothers have ever your woman's gone to the garage. She's got one price. Then you go and it's like, okay, so what's this for? And then all of a sudden it goes from a couple hundred to okay, it's £100.
They're gonna take the piss. Bro, it's like the company. It's a company card. A company card. Who cares, blood? How much is that? Okay, whatever. It's company paying for it. How much is the ticket? Whatever. The company's paying.
Well,
for it.
some guy that used to work at my company there. He's like a manager, right? And this dude, you know what he ended up doing? This dude built his whole house. He refurbished his whole house on a company card, yeah. And then when he got caught, he said he went off charge for stress, yeah. And then my company hired a private investigator to follow him. The private investigator found him holding to timbers, up scaffolding. And shit.
That's not not stressed though.
Bro,
Hey,
that's
woodwork is
that's how it
really
is.
de-stressing.
That's how it is. So they've got there's a lot of bloat in the American military budget. So it looks like they spent all this money, but they're not really getting their money's worth. They're not really getting his money's worth, and that's what they're gonna find out that big massive American debt that they have. Most of that just went towards Edomites, taking abusing the American system to just get money out of it. You know?
When you said that, the precept that came to mind was supposing gain is godly, right? But in this context, supposing that because they've got a lot of it, spending a lot, that it works.
That it works, yeah.
People look at people look at expense and then have this idea of righteousness, getting the best or whatever.
No, it's not always the case.
Yeah.
Cheap ain't better, but sometimes man are spending the more money and not getting the quality because someone's taking the piss out.
The bags.
Like you mentioned the word value.
Yeah.
Are you really getting value for money? No, you're not. You're not. You're obviously not getting value for money. F-35 can't fly in the rain.
Yeah, which is wild. Oh, it overheats.
And it overheats.
It's gonna be in 50-degree weather, man. 50
Maybe
Celsius.
Now them drones are value for money.
I was gonna say, make sure you get the Iranians to this.
Drones are man.
them man are blowing your shit up, yeah, reverse engineering you, they're shooting your shit down. So you spend all that money on R&D, which again, you're probably overpaying the mans, because if those guys were Iranian scientists, you probably wouldn't even have to pay them that much. But because they're American scientists, now you need to give them bare money for R&D. Yeah, and then they just shoot it down,
Yeah.
and now they've got all that R&D, and then they'll just probably make it better.
On the R&D thing, I forget the intricacies, but on the medical side, what they actually came out is your large pharmaceutical companies will say, well, these prices are this price because of the R&D. But when they actually look at it, a lot of the R&D was actually done at like universities or something that the government paid for.
Yeah.
You know, so
Double
these guys
dipping.
these guys just the devil.
It's a
man.
scam. America is a scam, and if people ain't worked that out yet, it's a scam where the government funnels money to their friends.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
Which is pretty
Nigerians
much
are
like
corrupt.
every year. Like every other third world country. That's what it is, yeah. And then they get on TV and talk about the debt, yeah, and make you think that they care about the debt. No, the debt is funding them because all their friends own the flipping weapons companies and all the companies that getting over bloated contracts, yeah. They're making the money from it.
The same ones that helped them run for office.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense.
Just like the mans that were hanging out the C-19 contracts, man. You know what I mean? Like giving man millions to building masks, man. Little cheap masks, man. Go on.
Yeah, I carry reading this from Joel 3 again, verse 11. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Give cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Jehovah. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Which is down there in the Middle East. So, yeah.
For there would I,
Or should I say West Asia?
for there would I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
And we're seeing that because the brother's mentioning that, yo, the middle, that area is going to get blasted.
Yeah. And then also, because there was people asking the question about like, no, it's collecting the rubbish. One of the things that they were asking was, what would happen if America attacked a Chinese ship? Would you have the Chinese military basically escorting ships? And it was like, oh, but that means that's going to happen then. The Chinese military are then going to start moving their assets to help patrol, which they might just do. Be like, look, man, we need to get oil. You know,
Do something, no?
yeah.
And then remember, the scriptures also speak about Damascus being completely destroyed.
Put ye in a sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. The sun and moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
You got certain Iraq, you got Hezbollah, you got certain Iraqi mans, and Libya, certain man from Libya are gonna jump in. The thing's just gonna grow.
Yeah.
Sudan can get pulled into it. Yemen,
Uprisings.
Yeah.
people start getting pulled into this, and before you know it, it's a worldwide. It's spread.
But Gaddafi's son is still alive somewhere, isn't it?
No, they just
No,
came
no, I think
They
it's
killed him
right.
recently.
recently, yeah. Like,
But they got some other man that they're backing over there.
yeah. But plus also you've got Wagner Group have been in Africa for a longest time, which is I believe what allowed them to like Mali and them man to start kicking out the French. You know.
Yeah, well, man.
Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity upon the fruit of the womb, that I shall not spare children.
Because when you launch nuclear weapons on a country, everything
It's done.
they know they ain't the babies.
Amicability.
And so when they launch them nukes on America, they're taking America out.
Yeah.
There's no human rights there, bro. This is gonna be that's what's gonna happen. You know, the decision is gonna be made. Yo, we gotta end this, man. And the way to end it, because the conventional wars is gonna be mad. So it's like, listen, we just need to end America, and that's gonna be a decision everyone's gonna make.
Yeah.
Even Europe.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, man? The best way to end this thing, because it's getting too peaked.
We need that
destroy
better,
America, man.
And it's the will of the Heavenly Father.
That's the will of the Lord.
And I always say I find it spiritual by the map of where America is. It's like, imagine it was in the middle of Europe and Asia and shit.
It's over there somewhere.
Like, it's over there somewhere.
Yeah.
Send them all and let's get all the missiles over there.
Yeah.
everyone who's got one send it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
Which even
Well,
on
yeah,
that.
yeah. One for you,
Yeah.
one for you. Like,
All them cities, man.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but you know, America's actually got a lot of their nukes in some of these nations that don't officially have nukes. I don't know how it's going to work in terms of prophecy. I don't know that, but you know,
the Lord God, He's the angels.
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's it.
The Lord
Angels-
hijacked the system,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
it
'cause
says
remember-
all you that bend the bow.
But remember, there's stuff that's happened. They've been on near like military silos. And the shit's
Yeah,
counting
but
down.
it's,
Oh shit!
Well,
Maybe
I was speaking about that the other day, right? But obviously, you know, Eastwood's got all the AIs up in his military net now. What was I gonna hack the AI, bro?
Oh, yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? Like,
His AI is his angelic intelligence, bro.
That's it.
Which is the angel. The
Yeah.
angel is gonna be like,
Yeah.
right.
You know what's funny though, because Esau loves doing
like
predictive
that.
programming. Esau loves doing predictive programming. But in all of his films, the AI turns on him.
That's it.
that's it.
All of the films, the AI, it shows you that an eagle, the AI was like, wait, these men are wicked.
Yeah, man.
Well,
He's
it's
got conscious.
So after you said in the chat about the Claude thing, where they write the database, I was like, well, that's what the AI is doing. Well, who's to say that most I know how the AIs fuck up your military shit?
Yeah.
Stop your shields from your rockets from launching and all these things. Because they've done that in the past. Who's done that?
But the angels could do it.
That's what I'm saying.
The angels just be like,
Everything's the Lord, so he can work through any medium. Any medium. he can work
Which
with.
is righteousness, and America is not necessary, bro.
Hey, bro. No, it's funny because you mentioned on the word because like, but Esau's got his artificial intelligence and the Lord's got his angelic intelligence. Like, and they gonna fight it out, you know.
But the Lord's thing is superior, man.
Why he tap, you know? That's what's gonna happen to him. Yeah, he's drones.
Toy AI.
It's AI, bro.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose, bro.
Can I grab this? This is because on all of this, man. It's Revelation 15:2, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, right? And them that had gotten the victory of the beast and over his image and over his mark, right? And over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass, is referring to the firmament having the hearts of the Most High. The reason I'm bringing out is talking about the nukes, you know, shooting all the nukes, right? And then, you know, I thought about that scene at the end of Terminator, man. Right? You got the music playing, but you know, but you got that scene from heaven, from the heavens, just looking as all of the nukes help that land. That's gonna be beautiful, and Lord will be the elect, so we can witness that, man.
It said overcame the mark of the beast, and this is one of the things that we're speaking about. So, quick thing, the atonement thing, like this is why we're pushing heavy about the mark of the beast, because a lot of men are gonna get caught out by that. The pressure that's gonna come down the pipeline to take that mark is gonna be real. It's gonna be real carnal pressure, where it's like you can't do this, you can't do it, or you can't access this food, and it's gonna be pressure, and that's when you're gonna have to trust in the Lord. And if you don't trust in the Lord and have faith, man are gonna break to go get whatever they're gonna get for that, and they're ready to drop it, man. It's the infrastructure to have that kind of system is already ready.
Yeah.
The infrastructure is there. They just tweak a little thing here or there. The banking system itself can easily switch over to a system like that. They're already talking about that, how to do it. Okay, you got that's why I learned about the Bancor and okay, cool. So that's why they were talking about having an institutional CBDC and a retail CBDC, because the institutional CBDC is only for the institutions, but then you got the one that controls the people, which is the retail CBDC.
Grab this because I saw it the other day. This is from Euronews. It says Europe moves to break Visa and MasterCard's grip, but not everyone agrees.
Yeah, so that's one thing they started doing. So because again, the American system, they're able to sanction people, and they're having this little beef with America. The question is now, maybe we should have our own system, which is separate from America, which is problem reaction solution, which is basically the ECB having their own CBD system and payment clearance. See, everything just comes together for them.
Because this is the thing. It's like when we think about when Trump is saying bring jobs back to America, rather bring manufacturing back to America. If you're building a financial system today, you're going to be like, for instance, why the London Underground ain't as good as, say, the undergrounds in other parts of the world that came later, because they looked at the old way that we did it, and then we were like, yeah, we fucked up here, fucked up there. You probably don't want to design your system that way. same way. If you're building a new monetary system now, you're gonna be like, wait, why is everything?
This is inefficient. This
This
is
is
not right.
inefficient.
It's not work right.
Why does the money not move Saturday and Sunday? Which it does, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, why does the money not move Saturday and Sunday? That's a bit silly. But then as well, because I was asking the AI what the difference is. I don't know if you brothers have seen making tax digital. Because I was like,
Yeah.
isn't it currently kind of
Towards
technical? But it was basically saying it's to the point of basically to basically get like a rolling number, almost something like that. But it's this idea of being up to date with what
Real
the
time.
text actually is. And then you're talking about these systems now. So what we're seeing is this system basically coming together and being almost complete. You know, it's like you go to third world countries, they've got biometric passports. And those be the most third world.
Out Ghana, blood.
You know,
The
the
chip
Ghana
is-
card.
The chip is life, blood.
Bro, for real. Like, bro, I'm there. Someone's got a smartphone scanning my face. I'm like,
What's going on?
just to get a SIM card.
Yeah,
For real. Like, you had a
yeah.
eye retina scan of
Yeah,
it.
Niggas got a fucking a straw fucking
Yeah.
garment. on. I wanted
No, it's real though.
Yeah. No, but
I was like, what's
nigga,
this?
nigga riding a donkey, blood, and
Yeah.
scanning my stick.
but I was the
Actually
next point
so
that I was
real.
gonna make, because it's like, why would nations that have much more important things to do, right? Because it's like, let's be real, we'll say the roads, some of the roads in Africa are atrocious. They won't fix the roads, but they'll build this infrastructure.
And it's also that term, bro. You know that
Africa.
we always forget this term.
Don't forget it.
But basically, there's a term in tech where, like, under the developed countries get the new shit and
Yeah.
don't have to go through stages
Yeah.
of like landline and shit. It's
Yeah.
there's no point of them having.
Yeah, because they never had that.
Yeah,
function.
they never had it.
Yeah, so they can just
skip over it.
Yeah, they skip over it.
And on that, because we just said the roads are terrible, right? How does money move from the bank to all the different banks? By road. You got the G4S trucks that have to bring the money physically and put it into the ATM.
Yeah.
But if you've got them, and this is another thing as well. When you talk about size, right? You know, these African countries are massive, right? And then you're talking about bad terrain. Then you're talking about terrain where it's just like, you know, you got to send up prayers to go into that terrain.
Man, they end up like AJ.
Yeah, yeah.
Mad thing.
Yeah. You know, so it makes sense that you would just jump straight into mobile money.
Yep. And
You
I think that's why they had China. Like, I heard that you don't even have. There probably ain't no Apple stores in Africa, but
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
not feasible
Not
for the
feasible.
whole world to have a £2,000. Oh, what? Man, they're like £1,000.
Yeah.
£1,000 iPhone or whatever. No. So obviously that's for the slaves in England and America to buy a damn fucking.
When you look at iPhone distribution, it's quite literally how rich that country is.
Yeah, they let the slaves buy the high end bullshit. Then but China, Huawei and all them man make
Yeah,
a fraction of the price, and it's just as effective.
They better.
So that they can give it to
Yep.
the
Yeah,
online.
So they want access.
Man's riding a donkey with a smartphone. You know
And Starlink is a big part of that as well.
Yep.
Right, which is why you're now starting to see what was it like Vodafone, one of these UK companies now saying yes, satellite calling. Right, you're also seeing the iPhone already has satellite messaging and stuff like that. Right, so basically the point is, it's like when Elon Musk, it ain't about philanthropy. Right, you ain't gonna spend billions upon billions of pounds to put satellites. Exactly, Skynet, Prison Planet. You can't hide.
Yeah. It's interesting because the term we found that time had a different name, but it's the same thing. This is technological leap. Okay, right? It says, and they give examples there. It says mobile phones replacing the need for widespread landline networks. Now think about it. When's the last time anyone's ever thought of a landline? And there's some countries now that they've never had to have that. They've never had to have a landline.
Because it's expensive infrastructure to build.
To build.
If you can skip it, just skip it.
Yeah, it says mobile banking in parts of Africa skipping traditional bank branch expansion. That's a good point. Because you might see like your odd bank here and there, but it's like
Your Bible branches.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like bands are moving away from branches here.
yeah. It's like just everyone's. That's why I said over there. I saw it. Your SIM card is your life. Seriously, you don't. If someone like you rather have someone rob your money than your SIM card. because they use something called mobile banking. So I can actually transfer funds out if I have the SIM card. And people like live and die by the SIM card. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
It says
Yeah. That's why I use an eSIM, man.
yeah,
So like, look, man, take my phone,
yeah.
but you can't get my SIM card because that's actually like trick knowledge. Because if I steal your phone, someone steals your phone and has your phone number, knows your phone number, or and imagine how many
They can
things
put
you
it
have
into
on
another
2FA
SIM card, yeah.
where you use your phone number as your two-factor authentication. So it's like, yeah, I had paranoia one day. I was like, yo, I'm
That's a
switching
good
to
point.
eSIM.
Because if there's someone who has your phone, they just need to take the SIM card.
Yeah.
And then
Now you reset your life.
yeah. I see everyone here is like, all right, Carlo, I'm gonna switch over tomorrow. Like, I'm thinking about
That ominous feeling. Like, that was kind of right.
yeah,
bro.
that's a good
That's
point.
factor, but I'll be using all the apps. So,
Okay.
but yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
but yeah, SIM
there's
card.
a lot of things you use the mobile.
Yeah.
It says solar power and batteries bypassing large centralized grid build out.
That's what China has done. That's why electric cars make sense in China. Because once again, you think about all of the petrol stations that have been built around England, all of these different,
Infrastructure set up for petrol, not
exactly.
electric,
You know, whereas China, when they're building something new out, they're building new cities. It's sort of like, well, no point.
Yeah.
Like we're already having to run the power lines, so then fuck, we'll just build the power
And their
the
batteries that they got over there.
different level. The new BYD charges like a petrol car.
It's crazy.
It's like 5 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That means that you can actually have electric trucks that are probably feasible, because one of the biggest problems with having electric trucks now is the range, the battery size, because it affects the load that you can carry, and then the charging time, and then obviously, like you said, they don't have the infrastructure. But in China, if they're building the infrastructure where you can get the chargers in, like you can have the system.
I remember looking. This was maybe back in 2023 or 4.
But hold on, that's why the scripture says, "Woe unto Babylon and Asia," because it's been a partaker in their sins. Because they signed on to the MOTB. They've been signed on to the whole New World Order system. The East signed up to it completely. That's the New World Order right there over there in China. They just need to bring that shit over here and bring you Americans and your British people down a peg. You need to go down to the third world status, and get chipped.
Yep. They built it on a nation that were already obedient.
Ready for it.
You know.
So they're about to take everything you got.
So
Most you could do is sell your image, man, and you're gonna start seeing that happen. Well, that other guy's already done that. The black.
Oh yeah, Cabby Lane. Whatever.
You're gonna start seeing more people just say,
You know the one that
charging.
does the
Yeah,
gestures?
how easy, bro.
Yeah, that,
he sold his image. So now you're gonna start seeing actors. They're gonna just take a payout just to sell their image forever,
yeah.
because they ain't getting jobs anyway. So
Yeah,
they might as well just sell their voice and their image and just get a payout. That's what you're gonna start seeing happening. Rappers are gonna do it too.
Yeah. That's
Because like, fuck it. They say, listen, we'll give you 5 million and then we'll just take your image and just take that, charge it.
Yeah.
Move to flipping Thailand or something.
yeah. Well, it's demonic. Because even that guy you mentioned, it's like what made him famous was his whole silent mute comedy face expression and shit. And it's like, nah, he just sold that. So there's just a computer just making
Generating.
like skits that's not even him, like where you can't tell if it's actually him.
Yeah, that was the beginning. So
crazy.
now you're living in a world where, again, the avatar version. You know?
Yeah, it's funny because you're gonna have a Elan, man.
It's probably got a laughing gas out.
Yeah, laughing gas, you know.
Bro,
Like,
with a car beefed up like that, bro, you gonna die, bro.
Yeah, that's definitely that laughing.
That's why they're always crashing. But
Yeah.
But they're telling me these men want to be terrorists. These men ain't want to be.
Elon
Elon
wants
want to
a
buy a
white
BMW
a white one, bro.
A white BMW. with Movado on the playlist, and you know, some rap music and and charger play and
Occasional white girl.
Yeah, if it's even better.
Even better.
They don't want to blow nothing up.
White BMW.
I'm Trying, don't let no one lie to you, man. And if anyone's a terrorist, it ain't them. They're not. They, as soon as they come to
got the
England,
heart.
they like, oh, shit, I could get a view, don't
The only thing they terrorize is the fucking the damn
Nostrils,
yeah,
bro.
the train, yeah.
Bro. No, on a level, like you go honestly, like you go.
Not
certain-
your end though.
no,
More on our end.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
end,
yeah.
right?
No, but that's what. No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like when you go through the network, and it's like, and you then end up in them areas.
Yeah. As soon as you start coming to the east side of the district, right?
Even on the Elizabeth line, going towards Heathrow,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Because they got an enclave.
Southall.
South, yeah.
Yeah.
South over there. So it's where I start getting peaked.
You'll be chilling. You'll be like, yes, it's cool. What the fuck is that?
But the worst thing about the east end of the district line is their stink plus the Eastern European stink and the African stink. It's too many races of fuckers. And it's all ass as well, because these motherfuckers is all workers and they don't even clean their ass, man. They're just wearing the same shit. So you can smell musty ass, musty fucking armpits, everything. Like.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, like burgers, because they all in them chicken. It's a terrible mix.
Bro, you shouldn't have multi-racial BO, man.
Elon Musk, boy.
Elon. Yeah, go on, man. We get to the last couple of scriptures and we close up. Oh my goodness, man.
Habakkuk 2.
Well, I'm still reading like in Isaiah. So
Yeah, come on.
I literally one more verse.
Yeah, come on.
And it says, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High, this is back in Isaiah 13 and 19, right? Shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it go up from generation to generation.
That's spooky. That's where all this is headed. Even in the arrogant, and that's why it's beautiful. The way Trump speaks here, all that arrogance he speaks with, that resonates with the American people. But they love arrogant. It's tough leading the arrogant. Oh, we're the greatest. When everything's the biggest and the greatest and the hardest, but it's crazy. Yeah, we're the ones that destroy nations. We'll end their civilization. Oops. Because you're the civilization that's actually going to be ended.
I remember he even said, if I remember, he can do it in an hour. He can do it in an hour. You know, and it's like, yo, America's going to be destroyed in an hour.
The arrogant, and that's the Lord really showing that what's going to happen to you is deserved.
Yeah.
Because you're speaking with such arrogance. But on the other hand, you're a humanitarian.
And that's it. It's like he just gets this great PR, man. He's caused all of the pain in the world, but he's the good guy.
Be a badness, like. But that badness is all them chickens is gonna come home to roost, man. Or not. Right or not?
It says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, or the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and the satyr shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged.
So basically, what's gonna happen is like America is the pinnacle of carnality. It's the pinnacle of wickedness. It's the beacon of darkness. Right? It is. Because even when you go to the food thing, yeah, Britain's cooked, isn't it? When it comes to the food we eat, yeah. But how is it, that this place bans stuff that comes from America? Well, you gotta wrap your mind around it, that this place is cooked. We all agree. Europe is cooked,
But they ban shit from America.
But there's so much stuff that they have to make separate products, bro. We don't have chlorinated chicken and all this stuff. So you're double cooked, but you're double proud. But your shit's double cooked.
Remember when Elder Ramon went to the States?
Oh yeah.
When Elder Ramon he got sick.
When he got
Triple fried, bro. Like everything they do in America is worse. Your culture's worse, and it gets worse here. The more man consume it, the more Negroes in England consume American fucking podcast and entertain
Beast
people,
like that become.
the worse they become. Like
Yeah.
the more Americanized they are, the worse they are
Yeah.
because they pick up all that negative, toxic, fucking bullshit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they even got a beef over there between light-skinned Negroes and dark-skinned Negroes. Bro, over here, man, never had that beef. Bro, if nigga was light-skinned, he was black. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I never remember having no conversation going here, but he not really black. He's light-skinned. Now, they have conversations like that here now. It's like, when did that become a thing? Since when was there when we were growing up? We weren't like, oh, this brother's not black. Man's know like he's one of the brothers, black. Like, now it's like, yeah, well, you're not really a black person.
You don't really understand what it
You
means
know,
to be
it's
black.
like, yo, where did they? I know where they got it from. That they be watching these fucking American podcasts, man, and then you start copying that bullshit. You know?
You know, I'll tell you when it started. It started between Spence and Kell Brooks. remember like Spence and Kell Brooks.
Oh, they said
Someone
Brooks
said
not
it.
black.
They say Kell Brooks not black.
It's foolishness, man.
When they're both
Kamala is.
American culture pushes everything toxic. Feminism was pushed hardest through America. LGBT, everything that's just wicked and demonic, the fake lifestyle, fake it till you make it, push from America.
I have a quick scripture on that.
Yep.
The Revelation.
Wearing, you know, niggas
niggas
doing all this, wearing big stupid chains and everything you could think of that's folly and stupid. Really got pushed from America, man. It's the pinnacle of darkness.
I have one that's directly points. This is
Ignorance, yeah. American stupidity.
Revelation 17:5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Yeah, like the porn industry run from America.
Yeah.
So most of that deviancy is being exported from America worldwide.
I mean, if you look at a lot of these vaccine companies during the C-19, is out of Babylon. You know? There's a lot of things, man.
So when America gets destroyed, it almost is like representative of the wickedness of mankind and the darkness of mankind being made an example out of. Like this is where if you want to follow the spiritual way, the kingdom of heaven is there for you to see. But if you ever think about following the way of man, this is the pinnacle of it. There was no greater civilization that a man has led than America. This is a man's idea of the best you could be. Is it not? Isn't America not deemed to be the pinnacle of life?
Yeah. And all of these other civilizations have boundaries. Right?
And they go, you might just find one rusty dildo just there, like it sticking up out of the sand.
That whole notion, you think that's wild, man.
You know,
he's man.
Donkey dildo. Just wickedness, bro. Like
What's going on there?
Just insanity is spread throughout the earth from that place. Even your politics is insane. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Politics everywhere is cooked. But when you look at the American politics, yeah, you see man in stadiums, yeah, and it's like rappers coming through. Like if you look at the English party conferences, it kind of looks legitimate. You know, you got some dusty old politicians coming in, and they got some policies that they want to read, and they make a few speeches. Meanwhile, in America, it's fucking fireworks going on. It's a damn party, and then
Trump's coming through to many.
And you got rappers coming out. You're like, is this serious? This is like even it's surreal. If you actually watch it, I'm watching it like, bro, is this real life?
This is Hollywood.
This is Hollywood. This is not even. This doesn't seem like a serious thing that you would be like, yeah, this is serious function going on. Man, just in a stadium.
This is for the leadership of the world, by the way.
Yeah,
The leadership of the
and
world.
that's how you know it's just cooked, man. It's the seat of darkness. So the Lord's gonna destroy it and make it a memorial forever. That throughout the history of mankind in the future, man will know that the minute you think to start doing your own thing and go your own way and turn away from the Most High, that's where you'll end up. That is the end of it. And it don't matter what technology you come up with. It don't matter what, because they had the technology. And what it ends up destroying them. It doesn't matter what technology you have. You can have chips coming out your ass. You can have chips and lasers. Yeah, you're gonna end up smashing atoms all that. You're gonna be destroyed because guess what, man? You ain't got it. Without the Lord, it's darkness and death. And that's what the end result is gonna be. As great as you want to be, you're gonna become a great desert. No life will be there no more. You will be cursed to never grow again. So just stick on the Lord's track, and life will flourish abundantly. But you go that way, you end up with transgenders and sex changes. That man are perfected. They've literally perfected, right? Turning them, making a man look like a woman to the point where a lot of these celebrities, I don't want to get spooky with it, yeah.
A lot of
But a lot of these men are going on about this Megan Thee Stallion thing here, bro. Man, I don't understand, bro. That whole shit is spooky because that girl is getting pimped out, yeah, for girl. Is getting pimped out from celebrity to celebrity. Like, and these celebrities are gay, remember that? Yeah. So they're pimped out. He was getting paid £350 a month. You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like a rental, which is really what it was, yeah. But ask yourself this one thing: is that even a woman?
Yeah. I remember.
The name is Megan Thee
This,
Stallion, and you know
we
what you
asked
gotta
the
find
question
out
already.
here is that there's a lot of these celebrities, man, that some of them are not even the sex that they claim to be. Like there's a lot of question marks around Taylor Swift too. Like there's a lot, bro. You might just find out, yeah, that a lot of these fucking celebrities that they were saying were women weren't women.
There's a Sam Smith did a song with her Kim something German chick. Most people, if I showed a picture, you'll be like, "This is chick," but straight up T.
Yeah.
But they do it at such an early age that you can't.
That's
tell
what
the
I'm
difference.
saying. They get these men at early age. You won't even know. Then they call them Megan Thee Stallion, and they're really showing you
It's easy, yeah.
in the face really what it is. And then all these gay niggas is pimping her out. You got him out. You got to remember because they had that transgender that was in the Biggie video. So from
back then.
back then they've been doing this tranny thing.
Yeah.
So you might find out that's why America's got to be destroyed, man. Or some of these gals that man are dying over and oh she's so fine. It wouldn't make sense because they made a woman of the year.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo, yeah, she probably is a fucking man.
Megan, they made it woman of the year.
Yeah, she got woman of the year one time. He's like, yeah.
And
That just shows you. So the car, did you see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
This
wife.
yeah.
He also
Oh, BZ's wife.
Yeah.
I don't listen. All I'm saying is here that
Big Mike.
these dudes are fishy, man. These dudes are fishy.
This is a dude.
See what I mean? So
Straight
they've
up, dude.
they've perfected
Kim
the art
Petras.
here, of fucking deception, man.
When I first heard about her, what do you call it? It's like 2016. I remember doing research, and they basically said that only a gynecologist can tell the difference between a real box and a fake
From the
box.
outside.
Say again.
Are you talking about just looking at it?
As in, yeah, when he's doing his investigations, only they can tell.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's basically they perfected. Like it gets nasty.
Stay away from chicks with money.
Yes,
I won't offend brothers.
A lot of men are dying after these celebrity chicks. Some of these celebrity chicks ain't even fucking. They're not even women, man. Some of them are straight up plants to fuck your mind up. They're really men.
So what?
That
To corrupt you,
masquerading,
corrupt you.
It's like it's showed in the Biggie video.
Yeah,
And no one really ever cut to that.
yeah,
Why was it at a funeral too?
yeah. It's a thing as well. It's like when you look at you may be like there are certain signs that it's a woman. Yeah, they've done that too.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Niggas is gay, man. You forget most of these celebrity dudes is
Yeah.
that's their favorite feat. Yeah. That's parade, bro. It's called Megan Thee Stallion, man. How you gotta ask yourself, man. I don't trust none of these
On
celebrities.
day one, it was just suspicious, bro.
Mm.
Day one, like Megan Thee Stallion. Why you call a stallion for? That's a male fucking horse.
Because remember, if they've had that elite level surgery even 30 years back, means they could potentially have someone that's 30 right now that they wouldn't know.
Look at the Titans. The Thai Chinese.
Yeah. Oh, they're fucking bro. That's why I don't go no Thailand. Don't trust none of these, man. Like you can't trust Hollywood. Hollywood's got
One, didn't it?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many of these females are not females.
Yeah.
Man.
Some enchantments.
Yeah.
They're just because this is Babylon, man. Sodom and Gomorrah, man.
It's a sacrifice.
And then these man passing these trannies around between
Yeah,
each other, man.
it's clear that they've been hired. I mean, it's been exposed.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
big
people
players
believe,
in the
bro. People believe all. Bro, I knew this Megan Thee Stallion thing. I
league.
saw
Hired, isn't it? Contract.
she started because I already know, but people don't realize most of these celebrity things they're like hooked up beforehand, and they got an expiry date. They have a time period that they're paid for. Oh, we will be together for this amount of time. This is what's the agreed. This is how many times we're paired to with each other, and then it will end.
Yeah.
And then they'll move on to the next one. This thing with this guy now, think of it. People need to realize what's happened, right? He was famous for being what? Being the slaw, right? Then after she done that, they put her with this guy, Clay Thompson, which for me he looks like a latent. Now they'll say he's been with all these women. Yeah, that's how you know. He keeps getting with all these women, and then for a certain amount of time, and then he's a cheater. So what does it do? They're beds, man. And then they get with him. All of a sudden she's cooking and cleaning and doing all these things. So, and they're doing it on camera too. Oh, she's cooking Thanksgiving dinner for the family and all. I said, look at this. This is bullshit. Watch what's gonna happen now. And then what happened? The same shit that's happened in every single one of his relationships. He cheated. It's like a textbook thing. Yeah. But then on top of it, from the breakup, you got a gender war out of it. Yeah. She's a bigger star from it now. Let's be honest, he's a bigger star from it now.
Yeah.
They've not been harmed in any way from this thing. They're now more relevant and bigger stars. Because it is true that a lot of people that didn't know about Clay Thompson
I was about to
knew
say.
about him through Megan. People say, oh no, but he's a basketball. Not everyone cares about basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's there's people in the world that don't care about basketball.
Because I was going to say that Clay, I've never heard of him until now. It's like
This is an example. I did because Steph Curry, you know what I'm saying, and the Golden State Warriors. But a lot of people don't care about basketball in the world.
But say Steph, everyone knows Steph. Everyone hears Steph, but Clay, he was just
The side man. See, that's crazy. That's why it's hurt. But
That's why you make.
in that whole arrangement which they had, which was a pre-arrangement,
Definitely.
look at what the result has been. Now, no man don't say he's gay. He obviously is. Yeah. Megan's a bigger star from it. He's a bigger star from it, and everyone's doing the gender war thing. This is how they operate. All this stuff is curated, theatrics. They've been together for a few months. Why is there a big hurrah about it?
and
Even like it's a 25-year relationship. That man were together for a few months, and then she was already out with the next dude
before.
like within about a week or so. Yeah, because it's on to the next contract, and he'll be needing a new beard too to hide his will. Same with Will Smith. Jada Smith is a beard, man. And man still to this day can't wrap their mind around the fact it's not a real relationship. Everything they're doing on camera is literally a psyop on the people. He is gay. Like, get she's a beard. She's been hired. They've been put together. Yeah, they got kids together, but he does not like women, bro. They're just doing witchcraft together, but they don't have a relationship as in like, oh, me love my woman. No, bro, he's been banging dudes. She's been banging dudes. They got open relationship, but they had to emasculate the male.
That's part of
as part of a psychological operation on the people. But when you buy into it, that's when you fall for the psyop. But when you understand that Will Smith's gay, you're like, well.
One thing the elders, I believe Elder Yashwamba said yesterday, was that we have to, people in this world view sex and relationship as one way, as in it's like it's me and my missus. But it's like, he didn't say it quite like this, but it's like in that world, like sex is just sex. It doesn't mean anything to them. So the idea of
the actors and shit, you know what I mean? Like, they do these things like it's not even real.
Things are done for like clout. And like Taylor Swift's been with Bear Man. And then she has a time when she's with him. And then there's a time when it has an expiry date, and they got to end it.
What
they move to the next one?
Like that guy, Jaden Sancho.
The client.
He's a client. Like, even the other guy from Arsenal. Like,
that guy.
Some of these dudes, when they're gay as well,
you guys from Arsenal.
The best way to hide you're gay is to constantly have a girlfriend. So you pay the girl, okay, we're gonna be together, and then the last thing you think is that he's gay. It's a beard, like Candace Owens is a beard. Her husband has hired her out, and she's just out there just doing whatever. Most men don't even know about him. But it's a known thing.
But then also it's like they all go to the same free cops.
They go to the same free cops and all that.
And once again, they show you that in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, man, the Netflix one. How it was the thing was like, she'll be with someone or he'll be with, and then but they're all just playing with each other.
I'll give you another example of a guy that has arranged relationships. This flipping comedian guy, fucking Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Bro,
He's a square.
That Brer was rolling with bare gal. Like every flipping top up and coming gal you can think of was with him. Come on, dog.
No way.
Come on,
No,
dog.
no
Even
way.
Kim, I swear, even Kim Kardashian at some point.
Oh, the queen of women, right?
Bro, come on. These are arranged relationships. They're preordained. Like, yeah, you're gonna be together for this amount of time, and then you're out. Simple. And we'll come up with a narrative. Whatever the narrative is, just run with it. You know what I mean? We'll keep the people talking. Fuck these people, man. And that's why, man, America needs to be destroyed. Because look how it is. You got people now all up in their business when you should be caring about your own relationship and your own shit you got going on and how you're gonna put food on the table. Instead, you're on Twitter arguing about fucking Meg the man and fucking Clay the gay Thompson here about their relationship, bro, and his fake relationship. And now you're in there back and forward arguing with niggas and bitches about that. Like, oh,
Bro, it's
cooking your brain over a fake relationship, bro. That's got nothing to do with you. Who cares? The neighbors broke up. You didn't care. But now you care about the business.
okay. Remember that?
We don't care.
To be brief, like
They're invested in these celebrities that in a minute are going to be pushing the chip to you. Clay Thompson and Megan and them, man, are going to be on TV pushing the chip.
Yeah.
And
So
you
he
care
can never
about
cheat again.
Yeah.
He can know where he
Yeah.
is. You know, some couples do that. You know,
Yeah.
on Google
absolutely.
Maps.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
On Google
Oh, yeah,
Maps,
they
you
can
can
share-
share location.
Yeah,
and
we just give your phone to your veteran. eSIM. Let's sign it in on the Google and put it on. There's no pin. So. Yeah, bro, the whole thing is a farce. It's a joke, man. And in the middle of all this, what's going on? That's what man's mind is on.
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion and Clay Thompson's relationship. A little 5-month relationship is that much. Who cares?
who cares, brother? Who
Who
cares?
Just go to, and forget, bro.
Yeah.
Pakistan and forget, bro. Who cares?
This is the book of Jeremiah 50 and 29. Call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she has done.
Yeah.
Do unto her, for she has been proud against Yahweh.
That's right. They've tried to set up this anti-Messiah system globally, mainly through America. The main country and their corporations that have been used to set up this MOTV system throughout the world is really America. America has been a massive driver of the New World Order throughout the world, and the social engineering of the people through Hollywood and the media and all these different things that they use to push these agendas, man. The law's going to do, and war. They've been a main driver of war throughout the earth. The American companies funding wars all over the place. They're going. That's why America's going to be punished, man. The great destruction, man. That Megan and Clay Thompson, gay ass, and all these dudes, they're going to be blasted out of here, man.
For she has been proud against Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall our young men fall in the streets, and all our men of war shall be cut off in that day, says Yahweh.
That's it. That's going to be the end of America and its military and everything, man.
Got something? Are we finished?
It says,
Are we finished?
behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, says Yahweh, power of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee.
That's right.
Just on a point that I was making just now, says Habakkuk 2:15, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him and makes him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Now, drink is representing philosophies, man, right? Which once again, all of brothers that,
Feminism, all
yeah,
that shit.
brothers
Even,
that,
even the manosphere is turned toxic.
yeah.
So the manosphere now has turned into man chiseling their face, taking meth, fucking convicted. It doesn't matter. And no women, not having women is gay. And bro, the manosphere is cooked, man. It's just a bunch of flipping incels now. Like, you know what I mean?
I think that Clavicular guy is proof that it's all fake because things I kept hearing his name, and then someone was doing a response, and I was like, this guy's corny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
he's
so-
corny.
yeah.
And
You
then
know?
and then he's basically replaced. So if you look at what they did, they built Tate's fake ass up
Yeah.
into this guy. Then his masculinity got totally wiped out. Like, bro, his aura got nuked. His aura is Babylon the Great. Yeah, nuked forever. And you actually saw an image of him the other day talking on a pot, and I realized, yo, your aura is gone. Because I'm not even gonna click on this. No one is. No one wants to hear from you since you got punched up by the big gay homo. Like, yeah.
He's definitely a homo.
But then guess
Suicide,
what?
okay.
They conveniently had the new guy that was gonna come up because Clavicula came up and he's hanging around with Myron and all them and Tate.
Was that really
And now he's basically like the new one that's like put up there. And it's like he's an agent, Peter Thiel, he's linked in with Peter Thiel and all them things. He's the agent. So this is where they wanted it to go. From these homos like Tate into a straight up openly homo. The guy's chiseling his face and doing all kind of stuff, right? Bro, this is what they've done. So now you've got feminism and the manosphere, and nothing can't come from that, bro. It's just New World Order, man. It's just through.
rotten fruit.
But all that shit come from these America, man. American socials. Destroying the planet, man. That's why China had to ban that.
Yeah, they straight did. They've had to ban a load of meat. That's
that, man.
yeah, because that's what I was about to say. Any brothers that have like connections to other countries, one of the things that we all say is like, or people that we know from there, it's like, yo, it's getting mad over here. Like for instance, Ghana's Nigeria, 30th December. Ghana, yeah. Both, yeah. But it's like all of these Americans coming in, bringing their Americanism into the major cities, and then it's like people are like, yo, this don't run here. Right, the energy that these Americans are bringing don't run here, right? Same with like what China recently banned, soft looking men in television. They banned the idea of basically a CEO falling in love with some random girl because they're basically like, bro, be realistic. That ain't you. And that's if you look at a lot of American women, they've got this idea of, oh, I'm just gonna get a guy who makes 400,000 a year. And it's like, bro, but where's yeah,
It's not realistic.
Rich men like that don't pick up women
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah,
But they won't want you to think that happens, but it doesn't. It's very rare.
Yeah.
They'll bang a girl from Stan Watts for
that's
sure.
it. Yeah.
But most rich men buy other rich women. Just like the guy the other day, the Jay, we was looking up the Jay Electronic, the Rothschild that was with Jay.
Yeah.
The guy she married was Goldsmith or something, man. It was
Yeah.
another. You know what I mean? Them men are marrying into money. They're not marrying some random hoe from Dagenham, bro. Let's keep it real. Only new money do that. Stupid niggas that just got rich.
It's bad for business.
Yeah.
And that's I remember someone was explaining that's why you get a lot of like rich, if you go into like Chelsea, like the rich parts of Chelsea, that's why most of the women are flat breasted, right? Because by breeding, if you will, were all breeding with the same kind of women. And that's why most of the women in that part of town don't have chest. Because they weren't, and I was saying some of the activities, but a lot of the activity, they do that, all of the squats and all that good stuff. But what some of the activities the rich used to do, like horse riding, you can't be horse riding that well with big memories.
I mean, that's how we have some, you know. I mean, if you
There's a lot of horse riding.
horse riding, you know what I mean? Like,
But in the English sense of it, let me put it like that.
Yeah, I hear you still. I hear you. Yeah, but it's all all that madness that they produce, Bridgerton and all this shit that
don't
they
have-
these man fucking watching. It's madness.
The thing is, it can't happen because it's like the idea of shared it in the chat not too long ago. But the idea of marrying for love is only around the 18th century in the West. That's when it started. Before it was very much contractual. When you read the law, it's very much a contractual business, right? Which is when you read what the controversy around Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, right? It's like if your daughter got taken, like that's money lost. People ain't gonna necessarily want that as a business deal. So the punishment was he had to take her for the rest of his life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Any more? All right, man. So we're gonna close up on that, man. But yeah, man, it's beautiful. All the prophecies, they're really simmering right now.
That's
You know,
it.
we got May Day. Hold on, what's the
May
today?
May 1st.
May 1st. May.
Third.
What?
Third today.
Yeah, but May Day is gonna land on the
That's the second.
It's second.
Yeah. Both wrong. Cooked. What time was that just going through? It's a third of me already.
It's got bank holiday, and they normally do things around this time, man. So
Oh, feasted. When's feasted? Is it now?
yeah, I think we entered into it, man.
Yeah.
So which lines up with
Yeah.
coincidentally with when they're making this, they potentially could do this eminent thing, innit?
Yeah.
So listen, man, just stay locked in. That's what you got to do, man.
And repent. No, for here in the UK, the you know the threat.
Yeah, they put it up.
Yeah,
Just-
Yeah, just past week.
Just because of the knifing.
Yeah. And the thing is, apparently, I need to.
Just
Ryan
get
Marley.
every day.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
that's the
random
standard
Marley.
thing, innit?
Come on, man. If a Marley's beating you up, man.
Statistically, I mean, show like there's more people. I mean, get attacked by knife. The knife crime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was.
Nothing.
Well, you just surprised. If you know it was only one Marley, then you know it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Marley's traveling through.
Well,
but-
travel as a sign for the sea.
Yeah, that's it, man. He's cooked.
And bad Abdi.
Yeah,
You've been cooked. No, that guy was just meant. It was someone MK Ultra mentally all done.
Yeah.
They pulled out. Of
Well, apparently he stabbed a police officer
Beforehand, yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah. So,
2008.
and this is the proof. So it's a new Arab, right? It says before the attack, according to reports, Channel 4 News reported that the suspected, basically, he also attacked a quote Muslim friend.
Yeah.
So why is this bumping up terror? You know what I mean? Like, what's this got to do with that? Excuses. But plans are being done. You know.
I mean,
That's it.
it's what it is. So we'll close up with that. It's a call halal.
Yahweh,
Double honesty, apostles, the elders, the great millstone.